all of the basketball excitement and explore all of the interactive games right from your socially distanced seats. For more information, go to NAIAHoops.com today. The NAIA Men's Basketball National Championship, a Kansas City tradition.
Listen to all 67 games this March, including Kansas versus Eastern Washington.
Number 3 seed in the West region, the Kansas Jayhawks.
Oklahoma versus Missouri.
Oklahoma, Coach Kruger's done it for a long time at a high level.
And Wichita State versus Drake. Plus live coverage and interviews with KU, MU, and everyone that matters. Kansas City's home for the NCAA tournament. Sports Radio 810 WHB.
At Central Bank of the Midwest, we are focused on building strong communities across Kansas City. I'm Bill Ferguson, President and CEO. Our strong roots began more than 100 years ago in the heart of the Midwest and continue today across 5 states and 67 communities. Central Bank of the Midwest brings you the best of both worlds, a strong community bank with the resources and technology to deliver a legendary banking experience. Central Bank of the Midwest, strong roots, endless possibilities. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Every weekday on Sports Radio 810, tune in to hear Kansas City's favorite local lineup. At 6 a.m., wake up with the Border Patrol with Stephen St. John and Nate Bucati. At 10, it's The Zone with Jason Anderson. Now at 2, get into the program with Soren Petro. And wrap up your day on Almost Entirely Sports with Joshua Brisco. Kansas City's hometown sports station. Sports Radio 810 WHB. Don't miss a minute of the madness from the first 4 to the final 4. Kansas City's home for the NCAA tournament. Sports Radio 810 WHB, Kansas City. Isn't this a sports show?
I'm nothing if not smooth and professional.
And needy.
And extremely needy.
That's
Don't
fine.
nod so hard, Beards.
Almost entirely.
I want to eat a Jigglypuff! All right? I'll say it,
wait,
cowards.
hang on.
No,
Hang on.
no,
Hang on.
no! I want to eat a Jigglypuff!
This is Almost Entirely Sports with Joshua Brisco.
Sports! Sports! We're talking about sports! Pew, 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 pew.
Take the show with you by listening on the Sports Radio 810 mobile app at 810WHB.com or by searching for Almost Entirely Sports wherever you get your podcasts.
I looked at the Facebook comments earlier. No one said that we sucked yet today.
That's not an invite, people.
That's not an invitation! You go back into the hole from whence you came!
This is Almost Entirely Sports on Sports Radio 810 WHB.
I knew this was going to be the case figuratively this offseason for the Kansas City Chiefs, but we are witnessing a very literal changing of the guard. Welcome in to tonight's Almost Entirely Sports. It's going to be our last show for a little bit as we go all the way through the first round, the first weekend of March Madness here on Sports Radio 810, your home for all the madness. Although I'd argue that weeknights on Sports Radio 810 have been the home of madness for, year and a half now, 2 years now? How long have we been doing this show down here?
I would say we're way more mad than the NCAA tournament is.
Yeah, absolutely. In almost every sense of the word, just sort of, long-running resentment in Rudy's case, a general losing of the mind in my case, and then just sort of this kind of quirky Mad Hatter vibe from Beards. He's occasionally, not the Les Miles kind. I meant very much like Alice in Wonderland Mad Hatter, which
You guys are my
Who's
good
also
friends.
better somehow right now at least.
It made that nickname. It was one of the first things I also thought. I was like, that nickname.
Is the Mad Hatter in Alice in Wonderland problematic? I have not revisited that story in a very long time.
I feel like a little bit.
Okay, yeah, fair enough.
And I don't know if he's, rehiring staff members and, trying to advance the careers of people. But, a little creepy, right?
All right, well, Beards, I regret the comparison, all right?
It's not that I don't think he's kidnapping you, but once you're there, he's not really letting you go.
Great, whoa, wow. All right, Beards is Mad Magazine.
I can be the Mad Hatter.
Well, so here's what's on the docket for the show tonight. We're going to talk about the news that you may not have even heard yet because it happened just about an hour or so ago. More Chiefs news, more Chiefs guard news. We'll talk about the Chiefs' offseason and their offensive line with Ryan Tracy of RGR Football, Locked On Chiefs, and pretty much anything you could possibly ask for. We might get into a little bit of draft stuff with Ryan as well whenever we talk to him in an hour. And then at 9 o'clock tonight, we are going to pivot from being a show that up until that point will be nearly entirely sports, because we're going to cash in all of our goodwill for the almost in the 9 o'clock hour of tonight's show, because myself, Rudy Salazar, Beards McFly, we are going to become the seating committee for our almost entirely sports bracket for 2021, something that Beards is always so excited to bring to the tables, just so I have to go back and spend 4 hours in Photoshop making this bracket after the fact. We're doing
He
Gen
loves it
1.
because it's almost no work for him.
He just makes a list and then he says, "Bah,
He checks
Gengar."
it twice.
He's
Finds
Santa.
out which Pokemon are naughty and nice.
That's a different game, but I think we could play the which Pokemon are naughty and nice game pretty successfully.
Next bracket.
Here's the thing, not to go too off. If you read some of those Pokedex entries on some
Oh,
of them,
yeah?
it gets real dark.
Oof.
Like one of them's like it lures the souls of children. Like, huh?
Who does that? I feel like I've heard that one
Yeah, I
also. It's
don't
one of the
remember.
ghost ones.
We
right?
talked
Yeah.
about that. I don't remember who it is,
It's
though.
some of them are a little scary.
Well, listen, you hold your Pokemon chips to cash in the 9 o'clock hour, because 9 o'clock hour we're gonna seed a 64-team Pokemon bracket tournament for our bracket this year. You'll be able to vote on Twitter over the course of the NCAA tournament, and we're gonna do Gen 1. The first move we're gonna have to do is cut some Pokemon off the bubble, because there's 151 first-gen Pokemon, and there are 64 tournament slots. So I expect that we will be seeding for some upsets. There will be some 12s beating some 5s, no doubt, but we got to just get it down to 64. So we'll do that
And
later
we're
on
not
today.
here to do the Mike from Duke, everybody gets in.
No.
No, everybody doesn't get in, Mike.
We're not doing a 151-team tournament. We're
Not
going to get it
everybody's
down to
getting in,
64.
Mike.
I don't know if we have decided on hard and fast rules. We threw some things out there yesterday, but we're going to decide that all at 9 o'clock tonight. But we're not going to start there, because we're going to start with the Chiefs news that happened. By the way, you can watch the show on Sports Radio 810 Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube pages. We also have the chat on the screen now. So if you'd like to chat with everyone else watching everywhere else, you can go do that. Just don't be rude or crude.
Don't be a Mike.
Don't be rude, crude, or a party dude. Don't be Raphael from Ninja Turtles.
But he was the coolest.
He was cool but rude.
That is fair. but that's-
Michelangelo
but
was the
that's
party
what-
dude.
Yes, that is
Teenage
100% true.
Mutant Ninja Turtles. The Chiefs keep signing guards. The Chiefs keep signing guards. The Chiefs keep signing guards. Who's going to play left tackle? I don't know. So the Chiefs added another guard today. I don't know if you caught that by the song or not. But they had a guy that was, I think, within the crosshair. I think we mentioned over the last couple of shows, sometime before Joe Tooney, I believe, if my timelines are all figured out. My brain is football mush right now.
Mm-hmm.
But they had this news pop up a few days ago, maybe a little longer ago, that Kyle Long was returning to the league. He had retired, essentially. And he was just retired. Last year was weird because there were opt-outs and everything, but Kyle Long essentially just stepped away from football.
He had retired. Yeah.
It was not an opt-out. It was a full-on see y'all later.
And I imagine, I don't know if he said this or not, but I just imagine he did injury-based, because he spent the previous 3 years, or maybe even 4 years, basically injured.
And that's going to be relevant, I think, for the rest of our conversation about him here. That will come into play. But in his time in the league, and now he's going to be going into his age 33 season. He'll be 33 around the start of the season. But in his time before that with the Bears, he was a 3-time Pro Bowler. He did deal with a lot of injury issues toward the end of the career. But it wasn't actually the end. But he was an excellent player whenever he was on the field, and he was unretiring. He was being pulling a little Brett Favre. Also a phrase that I cannot say without the context of I mean in the retiring sense.
Only the retiring
Only in the
sense.
retiring sense. But Kyle Long says he's coming back. His first visit is set to be with the Las Vegas Raiders, who, by the way, ultimately didn't cut Rodney Hudson. They traded him now to the Cardinals. Got a third-round pick back for it.
That was an actual thing. I thought maybe I don't know. I like when I read that, I think I was like half asleep, and so I thought to myself later on the day, I forgotten about it. I was like, wait, was that a real thing?
That really happened. That really happened.
Yeah, it's a little disappointing.
The Raiders did not just straight up cut him. They got a third-round pick in return. I think there was a late-round swap in there also, but it was essentially a third for
I think
Rodney
it was a
Hudson.
7.
I think
Yeah.
that's right.
Good move by the Cardinals.
And a good move by the Raiders, all things considered.
To actually get something for a player.
And they brought noted terrible person Richie Incognito back. Another just, big dub for them. Good work. But it seemed like they were going to be a very likely landing spot for Kyle Long because they have been undergoing a lot of changes across their offensive line. He visited the Raiders first, and then we knew he was going to visit the Chiefs, but I remember that was happening still, but I kind of put it to the back of my mind after they signed Joe Thuney, because you make a guard the highest paid guard in football, and at that point, honestly, I felt pretty good about the Chiefs guard position. I'm not going to rail against this. I'm going to tell you what I'm worried about. Spoiler alert, they signed Kyle Long, and I think it's fine. I think it's a net positive. But as of 2 hours ago, they had Joe Thuney. They had brought back Andrew Wiley for another year. They still have Nick Allegretti. And Laurent Duvernay-Tardif, as far as we know right now, is going to be back for the 2021 season. Who also, by the way, has a pretty hefty and very solid cap hit. By solid, I mean it's not movable. They're not going to cut LDT after this move today. He's on the cap right now for $4.75 million. He'll probably ultimately make a little more money than Kyle Long does this year. It'll be close, though. Kyle Long's deal with the Chiefs, again, spoiler alert here, I suppose, can be worth up to $5 million. Up to, so incentives and whatnot. But he's probably going to make pretty close to the same amount of money that LDT is going to make this year. But with all those guys, I felt all right about starting Thuney and LDT with Wiley and Allegretti as your two backups. That's fine. That's all right. Now, if you have a catastrophic injury, then all of a sudden you find yourself a little thinner than you want to be, as the Chiefs did last year. But Allegretti came in at a pinch there and played pretty well for the vast majority of the season. He didn't actually get into the lineup until Mitch Schwartz left, because then Rimmers moved from guard to tackle. I also expected, maybe no longer expect, them to try to bring back Mike Rimmers. There was a report that they were going to try to bring Rimmers back. I was all in on that. I don't know that that's going to happen. Maybe as a pure just like swing tackle, and they don't have to worry about him playing guard. I think it would still make a lot of sense, but that seems up in the air at the moment as well. All of that to say, they do sign Kyle Long. Jay Glazer had a note after the signing was reported. He said that his visit with the Chiefs went so well that he didn't want to go anywhere else. He had other visits planned, but once he met with all the people in Kansas City, he was happy to stay here, which I think is cool. I think is a good sign. It also, even if it gets close to $5 million, whatever those incentives end up being, it's a pretty good value for a guy that has, a high ceiling on a one-year deal. They say there's no such thing as a bad one-year deal. You could probably find examples of it, but this isn't one of them. I'll give you my kind of projection on the offensive line momentarily. But also, the Chiefs, this happened at 3 a.m. today. I didn't even put it in the Google Doc because I was updating the Google Doc this afternoon, because this happened a lifetime and a sleep ago for me. I woke up, I've slept incredibly poorly this week because I'm constantly afraid that some news is going to break at 3 a.m. and I'm going to miss it. So I woke up at like 4, and the illustrious Tucker D. Franklin, president of Power Rankings, little Chiefs boy, and the deputy editor of Arrowhead Report.
What are you paying him for not to stay up 24/7?
He was up at like 3:30. And he had said, I got a story out. I'm going to sleep now. And so I woke up shortly thereafter. I went in.
So you tell him, no, Tucker.
You stay awake until you hear from me.
You go to sleep when Trent Williams is signed.
But I woke up at like 4:30 anyway. And that is a tough move out. I love the weighted blanket. I'm a huge proponent of a weighted blanket. Everyone should own a weighted blanket. Blanket statement, everyone should get one. It's the best. But makes getting out of bed at 4:30 a.m. to go be Coraline's dad typing at the computer to write about Trent Williams makes that a little tougher. But I got up then, and then I went to bed again a couple hours later. Caught, another 90 minutes of delicious sleep. That happened this morning. Trent Williams going back to the 49ers. The Chiefs were apparently in it till the end, knockdown, drag out, whatever. Albert Breer, I think, had the most recent report saying the Chiefs were absolutely in it until the very end, and he ended up going back to San Francisco on a massive deal that I think is really kind of only a 2-year deal that's going to push a bunch of money out to year 3, 4, 5. If the Chiefs made the deal, I'd talk about it for 20 minutes. Since the Niners made it, nah, it's fine. But the Chiefs are pushing for Trent Williams. Don't get him. After signing Joe Thuney. Signed Kyle Long today, and now all those guards I mentioned are all under contract right now. And the question that I have at this point isn't, is signing Kyle Long a good move? Dude seems like, I bet that whenever he ends up on the field, he's going to get a little Colecchio Simile fan favorite energy because he's going to play nasty. He's going to play aggressively. He's going to be fun to watch. I'm totally here for it. But much like my feelings about the Joe Thuney signing, I just keep looking at the presents that have not yet been opened. Maybe I should just open the present at Christmas that I should be appreciating because it's a nice hoodie. But I asked for a Lego set, and there's a big box over there that I really want to open, but I keep going through boxes and boxes, and I keep getting more socks and underwear, which I can really use because I'm 26, and now socks and underwear are a really good present. Girlfriend Renee at one point bought me a MeUndies subscription for a year.
Nice.
It's great. I got through a whole year, so now I have 12 pairs of MeUndies. They're very comfortable. Not an ad. I would love to be sponsored by MeUndies. And it was like, oh, that's a legitimately good gift.
Yeah.
Wow, I'm out here 100% legitimately excited about underwear. That's where my life's at right now. I'm good on socks. I bought some socks. I reviewed my socks on Shot Clock Reviews. That's how much I'm into socks and underwear at this point. I'm a grown man now. But I've opened the socks and underwear that I'm, appreciative of. Mm-hmm. But boy, I'm looking for that Lego set. And right now, left tackle and center, those boxes do not have any Legos to fill them, those positions right now, and I'm getting a little nervous. So here, to focus in on Kyle Long, my hunch at this point is that assuming LDT comes back, he probably starts at right guard, Thuney is at left guard. And here's the thing about Kyle Long and LDT. Both of those guys are coming back from a year off. So if you've got injury concerns, conditioning concerns, just rust concerns, whatever, you can let those two guys have a legitimate competition throughout training camp. Or maybe you have one guy that's first and one guy who's second in your mind. That's all fine. Whoever loses that job is going to be one of the best backup guards in football.
Yeah.
And linemen get hurt. And you don't want to get to the Super Bowl with a depleted offensive line again. I get it. That's totally fine. I'm not mad about a $5 million allocation to Kyle Long. I would have been if they wouldn't have tendered Travarius Ward today, but they ultimately did. We'll talk more about those moves later. But I think that it'll really be LDT versus Kyle Long. I would give the inside track to LDT at this point at the right guard spot. Jeff Schwartz, brother Mitch Schwartz, former Chief in his own right, tweeted that Long can also play right tackle. Every single thing I have heard from anybody who I think knows anything says that is Lucas Niang's job, to the point that if it's not Lucas Niang's job on week 1, I'm worried about Lucas Niang. Like, not that he didn't get a fair shake, but that he got every opportunity and didn't ultimately win the job. Frankly, I expect him to still.
Now, there is value in Kyle Long being able to be your backup right, essentially replacing Mike Rimmers, right? To be your backup right guard / backup right tackle. Now, it's important to know, like, Kyle Long has played only 1 year at right tackle in the NFL. Was a Pro Bowler that year. So, he played it well. That was 2016, if I remember right.
Yeah.
It's been a minute since Kyle Long's played right tackle. It's also been a minute since Kyle Long's been healthy, which is why coming into a situation in which he is kind of penciled in as the backup right guard / right tackle with a chance to go out and prove it is... It's not. Here's what I'll say.
He's played 10 games once since 2015. It went Pro Bowl, 8-10, 8-4 in terms of games played.
And that's the worry. But again, in the role in which it appears that he's been assigned to is as more or less the backup right guard, right tackle. I'm sure the Chiefs told him, like, hey, it's not. Right, you have some chance to compete here, right? Because you're going up against...
Absolutely.
There's a right guard who did not play in the NFL last year, and there's a right tackle who's never played in the NFL before. So it's not as if you don't have a chance. It's not as if you are backing up Joe Thuney and like, if it was, say, they had signed Trent Williams or something, and you're just like, we want you to back up those two, where you have no chance of playing. No, you have a chance to go win a job.
Yes.
It's there.
Yes.
We're just not necessarily expecting you to week 1.
And honestly... expecting Kyle Long to play 8 games over the course of the season in reserve for injury somewhere is about what you can expect from Kyle Long. And also, by the way, some people have been like, hey, do you know if is LDT staying in football shape? For everything I've seen and heard, pretty lightly on this. I'm not digging really deep. Sounds like that's the case. But more importantly, you want to talk about Kyle Long and LDT. LDT's been doing doctor stuff. Kyle Long has been working out. I don't know what the balance has been for LDT. But what those dudes haven't done this last 365 days? Gotten beaten by Aaron Donald and all of his friends. Like that, they haven't been having to line up against a bunch of 300-pound aliens on a weekly basis, or for that matter, even just going up across from Chris Jones in your admittedly very rare, contact practice. But they haven't been taking the battering of an NFL body.
Yeah. If
you told me Kyle Long was about to come back and play 16 games for the first time in 5 years or whatever, things would surprise me less.
For sure. Yeah.
I'm cool with the Kyle Long LDT, maybe Kyle Long, Lucas Niang little battle, and then whoever loses that job ends up being a very quality backup. I think that makes plenty of sense, and I'm guessing Ryan Tracy will have a lot of thoughts on that here in about 30 minutes or so. Where I do end up with Trent Williams, again, going back to the 49ers, is that I am looking at center and left tackle right now with just a lot of questions. Just a lot of questions still. And free agency's not over. I said this with Seth last night. I wrote about this briefly in my little quick write-up of Kyle Long on Arrowhead Report. That I still feel like I'm doing the thing where I'm grading an incomplete test, and I feel like I'm projecting on things that may or may not happen still. But right now, left tackle is Martinez Rankin, and center is probably Nick Allegretti. And I gotta say, man,
right now,
I gotta say, literally a week ago, I forgot that Nick Allegretti had played center in college. And now I'm at a point where I feel like I'm trying to slow down Chiefs Twitter from making Nick Allegretti literally peak Rodney Hudson. It's like, oh, but Allegretti, he played center in college, right?
He can do it.
He played center in college before moving to guard in college. And
was a 7th-round pick.
And he was a 7th-round pick. It's a
Rodney
good point.
Hudson was a 2nd?
Yes, that's correct. Yes. He, by the way, he might be able to play center. It seems like he played left guard pretty well last year.
Yeah,
he wasn't physically overpowered. He could definitely, I think, physically handle center. And if he knows the offense and can work with Mahomes, I think there's a chance of that. But what I'm willing to say with Nick Allegretti is that maybe he's the guy that you say, hey, if we just eat bleep over the course of this, if every center is way outbid from us, and the only guys we liked at 31 are gone by 27, and the guys we like at the end of the second round are gone by the mid-second, then we could go ahead and take Nick Allegretti and hope Dan Kilgore is still a free agent come post-draft day. And you could go into a season with Allegretti and Daniel Kilgore surrounded by Tooney and Kyle Long or Tooney and LDT, and it would probably be fine. I will say that I'm personally a little bit enticed by the idea of having a first-round pick at center, or maybe in the second round where you've got either 5 or 4 years of that guy just being, again, to take the baseball term, just being the battery with Patrick Mahomes for 4 or 5 years, learning the offense, and then just getting in that perfect groove, that perfect synchronicity with the quarterback that also you just set and forget, you never have to worry about. That's essentially trying to run back a Mitch Morse style of player there, although Morse dealt with injuries, of course. But I'm enticed by that. And so I think that if they went into the draft with Allegretti, I would assume, and maybe they have Dan Kilgore on retainer right now, I would assume they're going to try to find someone else in the draft to step in if they don't end up adding a veteran.
So I
wouldn't panic about it.
Yeah, I would say certainly somewhere. Again, maybe it's not in the first round, right? Like, again, they've had success drafting in the second with both Mitch Morrison and Rodney Hudson. Now, part of that obviously just comes down to at that point it gets hard because it's how does the draft fall? Is there a guy there who they didn't even expect to be there?
Absolutely.
And now all of a sudden they're drafting a wide receiver because there was no way this guy was going to be here, and now he's there. But, I do not have a good handle of, like, I'm not going to pretend like I know the center class, right?
Yeah.
I assume if you go back and look at the years that Mitch Morrison and Rodney Hudson were drafted, they were at least average depth at those positions, right? Because, like, if you have two high-level caliber centers going in the second round, it's a pretty deep class, at least viewed as. There might only really be one guy worth anything, right? There might be one guy who the Chiefs look at and like, this is really the only guy we think can actually stick in the NFL. So if he's there at 31, we're drafting him.
And if he's not there at 31, we're bleeped.
Yes.
And so everything you just said is the reason that I hate having some major roster hole going into the draft. Because what if you have to take a center, but you get some receiver at 31 you had no idea was going to be there? Well, I'd like to have the flexibility to take that receiver, please. But anyway, all of that for me, everything you just said, Rudy, is magnified by 10 at left tackle.
Yes.
The left tackle class seems good. It seems like the Chiefs really like the left tackle class. They also, by the way, were seriously bidding for Trent Williams. So don't act like they're not looking at veteran left tackles.
It's not that they're not willing to spend money there.
Right, absolutely. Now, the guy, if you say, is it Riley Reif? Is it Alejandro Villanueva? Is it Russell Okung? Is there no one that you think is able to step into that spot? That's a discussion about each of those guys individually. But if you like Allegretti at center, and I've run into a lot of people on Twitter who I feel like right now are just trying to say everything is fine as it is, which is fine for you to say. Here's why I don't. The Chiefs are not going to go into the 2021 NFL season with their big offensive line overhaul producing a left tackle, a right tackle, and a center with 0 total snaps at those positions in the NFL, with Lucas Niang at right, Allegretti at center, and then some tackle on the left side from the rookie class. You can't do that. That's so many unknowns. So here right now, I tweeted this out a little bit ago. Let me give you my guess at this point. If I have to project, I would not bet money on any of this, but let me give you my best prognostication from where we stand right now. Guard, I think, is done. And I think you have Tooney and LDT starting at guard with Long as the first man up.
Yeah.
Again, he and LDT are both coming off of missing a year of football, so they can compete with each other. They can be insurance for each other, but you need 16 games out of LDT plus Kyle Long. Well, I'm really 17 and really, hopefully, 20 games, but I digress. Pencil in Niang in at right tackle. Maybe they do bring back Mike Rimmer still to be a tackle backup, but at that point, whenever you have all the guard depth you have, he's your right tackle backup because we saw it happen with him on the left side.
We've seen what happens to him on the left side in 2 Super Bowls now, and it's not good.
Not good. So I think they still sign somebody from that veteran left tackle class that's available right now, and then draft a rookie. Maybe it's not in the first round, and maybe it is. Someone's there at the first they really like, go ahead and go get him, and then starting in 2022, that's your dude on the left side. Maybe it's in the second round. Maybe it's in the third round like Lucas Niang, a guy that you think might need a year. You can do that because Riley Reif is playing left tackle for you now. I think that makes the most sense at this point because you can have a starting offensive line that you feel all right about in week 1 and also a starting offensive line that you feel good about basically in 2022 at that point. LDT's probably gone, Long's probably gone a year from now. But you have then your drafted left tackle, Lucas Niang at right, probably drafting someone at center, and if not, maybe it's Allegretti. And you have Tooney for sure. You got to fill that guard spot. But it's not just creating something good for 2021. It's also setting a solid foundation that you can tinker with and build off of for years to come. I just cannot see them going into the draft again. I've said this a million times now, but I can't see them going into the draft with Martinez Rankin and Yasir Durant being their only guys at left tackle. It just seems like such a recipe for disaster where you end up finding yourself overdrafting somewhere. And unless they're just absolutely in love with like 3 dudes that they think have a 90% chance of being there at 31, I think it's going to get kind of messy. So there's where I'm at right now. They did make some other moves earlier today. We'll talk about some of those whenever we come back.
Want more Almost Entirely Sports? Watch the show live on the Sports Radio 810 Facebook page.
The IRS doesn't mess around. If they want your money, they'll take it. They can take your paycheck and bank accounts too, even threaten your home or business. Don't take on the IRS alone. If you owe back taxes, the smartest thing you can do is call Optima Tax Relief. The experts at Optima specialize in a powerful IRS tax assistance program called the Fresh Start Initiative. And their clients that qualify are saving thousands, even tens of thousands. One call starts the process to stop the demand letters, stop aggressive collection actions, and stop the IRS from targeting you. But don't delay. It's important to act now while you still have options. Optima is A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau. Optima has already resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. Get your life back. For tax help you need, for tax help you can trust, call Optima now for your free consultation.
Call 800-259-8642. 800-259-8642. 800-259-8642.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Squeaky doors, clogged sinks, finicky engines. When things break around the house, you take care of it. However, when something's off in the bedroom, you just try not to think about it. Come on, man, what are you waiting for? Take care of it. Go to GetRoman.com/JakeG now. Why Roman? Because you get a free online evaluation and ongoing care for ED, all from the comfort and privacy of your home. A U.S. licensed healthcare professional will work with you to find the best treatment plan. If medication is appropriate, it ships to you free with 2-day shipping. The whole process is straightforward and discreet. Getting started is simple. Just go to GetRoman.com/JakeG and complete an online visit. Take care of your ED without leaving your home. Complete an online visit today to connect with a healthcare professional and take care of it. Go to GetRoman.com/JakeG now and you'll get $15 off your first month. That's GetRoman.com/JakeG. It's really time to take care of your ED. And remember, get started today and you'll save $15 off your first order of ED treatment.
Hey, Kansas City, Stephen St. John here for Window Nation. It's that time of the year. Weather is warming up. The days are getting longer. It's time to start thinking about your home improvement projects. What better way is there to improve the look and feel of your home than with new windows? And there's no better time than during Window Nation's first ever Beat the Rush window sale. Act now and pay absolutely nothing for 2 full years. On top of that, you get 2 free windows with every 2 you buy. And there's no limit. Free windows from the Window Experts, a company that eats, sleeps, and breathes windows. They truly are experts at their craft. Window Nation has a 97% customer satisfactory rating for a reason. Their installers only install windows, not decks or roofs, just windows. They get it right, with 99.5% of their windows requiring no follow-up service. Window Nation gets it, and that's why I use them as well. Buy 2 windows, get 2 free, and pay nothing for 2 full years. Call today for this buy now, pay later offer. 866-90NATION or visit windownation.com and be sure to tell them Stephen St. John sent you.
Have you seen what's happening with the stock market? Record highs every day. How long can this possibly go on for? By the way, this is exactly what happened right before the 2000 dot-com bubbles burst. Remember that? Protect your savings in retirement by putting them into something safe like real gold and silver. I'm not talking about gold or silver stocks, but into real gold and silver you can actually hold in your hands. How do you get real gold and silver? By calling the Oxford Gold Group today at 833-600-GOLD. Now, the Oxford Gold Group will teach you everything you need to know about owning real gold and silver. It's so much easier than you think. So call the Oxford Gold Group right now at 833-600-GOLD to get your free gold and silver investment guide. The Oxford Gold Group is the only gold and silver company that I trust, and you should too. Get the Oxford Gold Investment Guide today and learn how easy it is to have real gold and silver delivered to your home, or how to have real gold and silver in your retirement account. Call the Oxford Gold Group today at 833-600-GOLD. That's 833-600-GOLD.
This is Almost Entirely Sports with Joshua Brisco.
The Chiefs are pork butts. There's a floor to pork butts. They're hard to screw up. You know they're going to be good on some level, but you need a good rub or even a good barbecue sauce after it's cooked to spice it up a little. Andy Reid is slow and steady, just like that 9-pound pork butt they've been smoking all night in the Arrowhead parking lot.
On Sports Radio 810, WHB.
So much breaking news during the break, Beard! First of all, thanks to Credible Hulk 85 on Twitch for the gifted sub. Patrick Peterson has signed with a team that is not the Arizona Cardinals. Adam Schefter, 2 minutes ago, perennial Pro Bowl cornerback, Patrick Peterson has reached an agreement on a 1-year, $10 million deal with the Minnesota Vikings. Curtis Samuel is signing with the Washington football team. And the Raiders were at one point believed to be looking to cut Gabe Jackson, another offensive lineman, away from Derek Carr. He's being traded to the Seattle Seahawks.
For a 5th-round pick.
Patrick Peterson finally leaves Arizona. Oh, hit it again! Earlier today, A.J. Green went to the Arizona Cardinals. Could Patrick Peterson, Arizona to Minnesota, Larry Fitzgerald, Arizona to Kansas City? Question mark.
Fun fact about Larry Fitzgerald. He has more tackles in his career than he has dropped passes.
We will keep you updated on any remaining NFL free agency breaking news over the course of the radio show. Even if it breaks when we're trying to do Pokemon seeding in the third hour of tonight's show.
Celtics down 26-18 after a sluggish first quarter.
Let's talk about some of the things that broke earlier today around the Chiefs. A couple kind of quick hit things, and I want to give everybody a place to inhale and exhale. And I also want to tell you that what you think is the worst thing that happened to you today wasn't actually the worst thing that happened to you today.
You don't know that.
I do.
You don't.
I do. You had to work with Beards today, and this is not worse than that.
I beg to differ.
So the first thing is the Chiefs did put a second-round tender on Charvarius Ward. It's going to pay him around $3 million, and if a team wants to take Charvarius Ward, it'll cost a second-round pick. I was getting very antsy on Twitter about 2 minutes.
Just waiting for that to come through.
Yes, because the league year began, and the Chiefs had tendered several guys over these last couple of days, and then our good friend Matt Verderam tweeted out that they were, in fact, tendering Charvarius Ward, keeping him around. Again, it's 1 year, about $3 million. If another team wants to swoop in and take him, it'll cost a second-round pick. And if the Chiefs get a second-round pick for Charvarius Ward, and what I believe will be the last year, I believe it'll be the last year of his time in Kansas City, just based on how the Chiefs treat cornerbacks, yeah, that's fine. That's all right. But there was no universe in which he wasn't worth either the original round tender of $2 million or this one around $3 million. Also, right now, no news on Bashaud Breeland so far. I'm anticipating that he's going to get paid more somewhere else. And so the idea that the Chiefs are going to come into this season with L'Jarius Sneed, Rashad Fenton, and then like DeAndre Baker, who currently has a broken leg, was absolutely untenable to me. We know they don't draft corners highly. I think that's an open secret at this point.
Yeah.
And Charvarius Ward, while I think it was fair to say that he took a step back last year from 2019 to 2020. His eyes got too good, I guess. I don't know. It wasn't much. Like, he's a good player, and NFL teams need to have 3 or 4 starting caliber cornerbacks. Otherwise, any competent quarterback is going to find the guy who is being, put on an island irresponsibly and pick on that dude until the end of time. And while Charvarius Ward might not be Deion Sanders or peak Patrick Peterson, he is a legitimate starting caliber NFL corner who can play on the outside, who's familiar with this defense, who Spags seems to like. I mean, it's just, there was no reason for them not to do this, which is why I was getting very antsy about it at about whatever it was, 3:05 today, I think, because it just, there was simply no reason not to bring him back. I sometimes, I'll find that something will happen and I'll come into the show just turned up to 100 degrees, just spitting fire. I was getting very near Angry Josh opening the show territory today if they would have just let Charvarius Ward walk for no reason. Ultimately, they tendered him at a second-round level, as I think is very reasonable. I'm very glad that he's back, and I'm sorry for how anxious I got on Twitter today.
It's okay, man.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Happens to the best of us.
And also me. Here's where it happened to everybody else, by the way. I think it was in the same tweet, if memory serves, from Verderam. The Chiefs put a second-round tender on Charvarius Ward and re-signed Ben Neiman. Those moves happened.
How did I miss that?
Did you miss that?
I missed that.
Same tweet from Verderam. Breaking news. Same tweet from Verderam. Second round tender for Travarius Ward. Re-signed Ben Neiman.
Ben Neiman machine continues. Might as well just call him Dirty Dan 2.0.
Dirty Dan, free agent, unrestricted right now.
Well, give it some time. Here's the thing. They know they don't have to rush anything with Dirty Dan. They basically just told, they have a gentleman's agreement with Dirty Dan that however much money is just left over at the end of the free agency, it's just yours. Like, you just get whatever's in our pocket at the end of the day. It's yours. You don't want to leave. We don't want you to leave. You're going to pick off Phillip Rivers 2 more times somehow, even though he's retired. That will figure itself out. Don't worry, people. Chiefs Hall of Famer will be back.
Have either of you watched Hamilton yet on Disney Plus or elsewhere?
So, funny thing about that.
Dude, it's so good. Just watch it. It's also incredibly culturally relevant.
Funny thing about this. I started watching it.
Okay.
On YouTube because somebody recreated it in Animal Crossing.
I have also seen this, and it is deeply unsurprising to me that that's how you're aware of it.
And it's pretty good.
It's pretty good, but the original that's on Disney Plus is really bleeping good.
Yeah, but like, Animal Crossing.
I hate both of you. Like, it's just, you just watch it.
At least I've started it.
Just watch it on Disney Plus.
Josh, I was watching a documentary today, okay?
What was the documentary?
It was the behind the scenes of the making of WandaVision.
Well, that's fine. It's not really a documentary.
I mean,
though.
it's
more
literally
of a BTS.
in their
You
their
said behind the
description.
scenes.
Yeah, but in their description it says it's a documentary
How long
of
is
the
it?
behind the scenes. About an hour, 57 minutes if I remember right.
Anyway,
it's a docu-series.
There's a big musical number in Hamilton where King George is singing this song, just singing "You'll Be Back."
I haven't got to what animal plays King George yet. I haven't got there. I'm through like the first 4 songs, I think.
The performance by the actor who's in the Disney Plus version is really excellent.
Do you know what animal it is?
No, in the Animal Crossing version?
Yeah.
No, I don't. It's because it's played by a human being in the Disney Plus version that is...
It's still played by a human being in the Animal Crossing version. It's just, it's just overlaid.
You can see the drool pop out of his mouth at one point as he is singing as this very pompous King George. It's excellent.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how I imagine the Chiefs singing to Dan Sorensen.
Yeah. I'm reading an article here, Pro Football Focus, their top 100 best available.
Rudy is so bored by this show. He's just reading Pro Football
No,
Focus.
but I was looking at like just free agents. They predict the Chiefs will re-sign Bashaud Breeland to a 2-year, $10 million deal.
Bartman KC also said on Twitch, said, just happy they're talking about a long and it's not Jeff.
Yeah, give it time.
We'll be back.
He's not completely gone yet.
It's the same song from Hamilton. How's that? It's like 2 hours. It's so good.
It's like 3.5 hours.
It's not. It's not 3.5 hours.
I'll check it out.
It's definitely not 3.5 hours.
I honestly don't know.
And it's got an intermission wherever you can go to. It's 2 hours and 50 minutes.
Okay.
It's under 3 hours.
I'm sure it's very good.
How many hours of whatever bull bleep random space series have you watched lately, Beards? How many hours have you spent playing Space Risk on your laptop?
What do you think he was playing here?
You might be playing it right now during the show.
No, I'm not doing that.
I mean, he's... I don't know.
You can watch Hamilton in the same amount of time it takes for us to do a show.
So you're saying you want me to do that instead of running the show?
I mean, Beards, you can do both. You can multitask.
It seems like you've had some opportunities, what I would argue. It's very good.
I'm sure it is. I'm not denying this. I forget the actor's name, but one of the, I guess, would he be an actor technically? Well, I mean, he is an actor because I've seen him on shows, but I just seen him started to pop up. I don't know his name.
I don't even know who you're talking about.
He's done all the DoorDash commercials recently.
David Diggs.
Yes.
He also is the front man in Clipping, which is a bonkers group that everyone should go listen to.
It appears that I assume Hamilton, it was kind of the thing that made him very well known to a lot of people. I started seeing him over the last year and a half in just TV shows here and there. I was like, oh, this guy's a pretty good actor. And then I found out, oh, he's a Hamilton guy.
He was in the original cast of Hamilton. He was Jefferson and Lafayette, and he makes a meal out of both of those roles. He's fabulous in them. Mm-hmm. But he also just has the tenor of his voice and the music that he does, and all of his various different like rap projects. Clipping is wild. I've talked about Clipping on this show before 100% because it's like a horrorcore, like it's very industrial.
Is that like when you like hit a defensive lineman like in the back or something?
Yeah, it's Clipping when there's also a period at the end. I actually knew of him from Clipping before Hamilton happened.
Huh. It's a band.
There's also, it's a 3-man group. He also had another project with a movie that he did that put out an EP called Blind Spotting. And he has a verse on a song called Easy Come, Easy Go. It's one of the wildest verses I've heard in a very long time.
I think that's like a Queen song.
You should go listen to that. Everyone should go listen to that during a commercial break. We'd stream
Is it Queen's? Beard, you're a musical guy.
Sorry. What band are you talking about?
Easy Come, Easy Go. Isn't that Queen? Or is it Queens? Is it Queen or Queens?
One of them is a location in New York.
Yeah, and one of them is a band, an iconic band.
I mean, I don't listen to that music.
You don't know
is it
if
Queen
the
or
band
Queen?
is singular or plural?
Is it just Queen?
It's Queen,
yeah.
yes.
No, I did.
And that's
know.
Bohemian Rhapsody.
It's a part of Bohemian Rhapsody. Uncultured swines surrounding me.
Says the person who's never seen anything before the year 2005.
A lot of good stuff came out after 2005 that I know about.
I mean, I know of Hamilton. I just have not watched it yet.
That I've seen.
Here's the thing. I spend a lot of time, like, just not at home. And my internet situation at home's not great. I have access to it for maybe about an hour a day if I'm lucky. It's not great.
Oh, Human Torch on Twitch mentions that Falcon and the Winter Soldier is coming out on Friday.
It is.
Forgot about that. Might dive into that a little bit. I saw somebody.
Pretty good.
I saw somebody tweet about how it's like doing some interesting things. That
the showrunner is the.
Intrigues me.
Did he direct Black Panther? He worked on Black Panther. I'm just not for sure if it's the director or not. But he was a big part in obviously in Black Panther, and so like there's obviously should be pretty good, I would imagine.
Or instead, you could watch Hamilton, which has been out now for a while.
At some point, the reality is, if I was gonna watch it, I would have seen it. Unless I'm with somebody who's just like, "Hey, we're watching this," which I won't object to it. That's just probably the only way I'm gonna watch it.
Really
that,
good.
or it just might be like the 15 minutes where I'm just staring at YouTube before I go to bed, and I'm watching it, but in Animal Crossing. Either way, I hear the songs, right? Is there that much of a difference?
Yes! One of them is an excellently executed stage masterpiece, and one of them is playing the soundtrack over Animal Crossing.
Disrespect for people's time. Somebody spent hours working on that, and you just the disrespect.
You would appreciate it more if you watched it as I did after watching the actual show.
Disrespect.
How many hours of The Office have you watched in the last week?
In the last week, I don't think I've seen a single episode.
In the last month.
It's probably been
last month.
It's probably been a month and a half to 2 months since I've seen an episode. Been a little busy. It's the first week where I haven't been like incredibly busy. And so I've been using this week to get caught up on all the things I couldn't get caught up on.
Like Hamilton, which you've been trying to catch up on now for almost a full calendar year, I think.
Hamilton's been out for longer than a year, hasn't it?
Not on Disney Plus.
Not on Disney Plus. Gotcha.
No, I don't think you. I wasn't going to say you needed to fly to Broadway.
Is Disney Plus though the first time it's been like available like on like has it never been released like even just like on Blu-ray or anything
Correct.
like that? Okay.
Yeah, that's right.
I guess I just assumed it probably
original
had been.
Cast also. Wonderful.
I knew it was original cast.
You should watch it.
We'll see. I saw The Greatest Showman. That was good.
Bet you'd like Hamilton.
Has Zac Efron in it.
I have not seen The Greatest Showman.
And Zendaya.
I did watch it. Beards, I know what time it is! I know what time it is, Beards! Why is it so important that we take a break right now? We're trying to get to a show that we can take a break on. Why is it so important that we take a break right now? You don't lose the break 3 times. I have 5. Beards, I have 5 clocks that I can see. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 5 clocks. I know we need to take a break. I heard you say break the first 2 times. I want to talk about Ben Neiman, and I want to talk to Ryan Tracy, but if we go a couple minutes over the hour, we'll be in lockstep with every show in front of us all day today. Why didn't you tell Crunch Time to break on time? We could have had an extra 2 minutes.
A lot pent up in you. I feels like. It feels like that was about a little bit more than just a break.
Watch Hamilton!
At JB Brisco, at Beards McFly, at Not That Rudy, at Sports Radio 810. Just do it already. NCAA tournament coverage on Sports Radio 810 WHB is presented by
Premier Mazda of Kansas City, the #1 Mazda dealer in KC, and home of the Premier Promise. Xfinity Mobile. Stay connected with Xfinity Mobile, the most reliable network with nationwide 5G included at no extra cost. Xfinity Mobile. Your wireless, your rules. Community America Credit Union. Powering the rise. And the Kansas City Steak Company. Taste, it matters.
Hey investors, have you always wanted to get into the real estate investing game but don't have the money? Crossroads Investment Lending loans money for fix and flips. Locally owned and here to help you fund your real estate project. Call 913-766-2900 or go to kclend.com. That's kclend.com. Crossroads Investment Lending has helped hundreds of KC investors make their real estate deals happen. Call 913-766-2900 or go to kclend.com.
Small business owners don't have the patience for nonsense, especially when it comes to their internet provider. They want the best services for the best price. Simply put, that's Spectrum Business. They give you great value, zero nonsense. Just call 833-919-2121. You'll get fast, reliable internet and phone with no contracts and no hidden fees, all for a price that could cut your bill in half. Spectrum Business. Call today, 833-919-2121.
Men, do you suffer from erectile dysfunction or Peyronie's disease? Has Viagra stopped working? Most ED cases are caused by plaque buildup, which causes blockages and restricts blood flow. Even Viagra can't get through. But thanks to the doctors at West Coast Men's Health, a revolutionary medical procedure is now available. Using acoustic wave therapy, this non-invasive, pain-free treatment breaks down plaque, restores blood flow, potentially reversing ED for good. And women, if your man has ED, talk to him about acoustic wave therapy and how West Coast Men's Health can help, regardless of age or medical history. Call 913-243-3200 to schedule an evaluation. Be one of the first 10 callers and qualify for the special $99 consult fee, normally $199. That's 913-243-3200 or online at westcoastmenshealth.com.
Whether you're considering a small remodel or a big renovation, Rock Tops is your partner for all things stone. And right now, they have a special offer just for you. Simply mention 810 when you purchase a full kitchen countertop, and they'll add in a vanity countertop for free. Details and restrictions apply. Since 2013, Rock Tops has installed stone in more than 15,000 homes throughout the area. Visit online at rocktopskc.com. That's rocktopskc.com. Let's make something that rocks.
Hey, Kansas City, spring training isn't just for baseball players. You can lose those pandemic pounds and get into shape before the warmer weather hits, since it only takes 40 days to lose a contractually guaranteed 20 to 40-plus pounds with NJ Diet. NJ Diet's program starts with bioenergetically personalized supplements based on your hair, saliva, and blood work. Then, NJ Diet uses DNA testing to create your ideal diet and workout regimen to help you keep it off. Don't want to do it alone? NJ Diet is with you every step of the way. You'll be fully monitored by their certified staff to make sure you're burning fat and not just losing water. You'll also get the doctor's personal email and phone number. NJ Diet offers live online video consultations, and they have a location right off 435, off the corner of College and Metcalf. Call 855-5NJ-DIET. That's 855-5NJ-DIET. Or go to njdiet.com and lose the weight for good. That's njdiet.com.
This is Almost Entirely Sports with Joshua Brisco on Sports Radio 810 WHB.
Breaking news. Riley Reef, who we mentioned earlier, is visiting the Bengals. More breaking news. Herbie Teope of the Kansas City Star says the Chiefs are interested in bringing back center Austin Ryder. According to sources, Ryder is currently considering the offer. Over the past 3 seasons, Ryder has appeared in 42 games with 32 starts for the Chiefs. I thought bringing Ryder back made a lot of sense before we got the report like a week ago that they weren't interested in bringing Ryder back. I don't know what changed, if it was just a matter of the center market, but bring him back would just be one fewer hole to fill. Everything I just mentioned about maybe keeping an eye out on Dan Kilgore or can Nick Allegretti play center, we know Austin Ryder can be a competent piece in that middle of that offensive line. I'm going to make a lot of sense. We'll talk about everything across the O-line with Ryan Tracy next.
You are listening to Almost Entirely Sports with Joshua Brisco on Sports Radio 810 WHB.
There's no such thing as quality of life when you are constantly in pain. No sleep, no work, no play without the pain. Enough is enough. Stephen St. John here to tell you about the medical professionals at QC Kinetics who help patients take back their quality of life with bold new breakthrough pain treatments. These are regenerative cell therapies that precisely target the root cause of the pain, usually caused by old injuries and arthritis, back pain, hip pain, shoulders and knees, even sciatic nerve pain. QC Kinetics' new gen therapies help restore and heal damaged tissue with long-term relief. No Band-Aid solutions. And they have amazing patient satisfaction reports. Best news? No surgery, no pain meds, and no downtime. Don't suffer one more day. Book your free consultation at QC Kinetics. Call now, 816-412-6299. Located right off 435 and State Line. That's 816-412-6299. 816-412-6299.
March Madness is back, and so is Sports Radio 810's Bracket Challenge. Go to 810WHB.com and click on the Bracket Challenge icon to get signed up today. You can win great prizes from Hy-Vee, 23rd Street Brewery, and a $500 gift card to Shaman's Leewood Total Wellness. Head to 810WHB.com and click on the Bracket Challenge icon to get signed up. Then pick your teams and sit back and enjoy the madness. Brought to you by CBD American Shaman, 23rd Street Brewery, Hy-Vee Plus, and Xfinity Mobile.
Championship Barbecue is now available at your fingertips with the new Joe's Kansas City Barbecue online ordering app. Place your order for the legendary Z-Man or Rocket Pig sandwiches, slabs of ribs, or a burn-end dinner right now. It's just a few clicks from your smartphone, and your order will be hot and ready for curbside pickup. The new Joe's Kansas City Barbecue app is perfect for a weeknight dinner with a family or feeding your entire office. So don't wait. Download the brand new Joe's Kansas City Barbecue app today.
It's basketball tournament time, and Gomer's, a Kansas City tradition since 1969, has 5 great locations in the metro to get you ready for all the action. 4 in Missouri and 1 in Kansas. Nobody knows more about fine wine, spirits, and craft beer than Gomer's. Place your orders online for curbside pickup. Plus, Gomer's delivers in Missouri. Gomer's, your hometown liquor store.
When it's time to find the good stuff you're looking for, you find it at Gomer's.
Are you buying a diamond in 2021? Well, don't compromise on quality. Diamonds Direct lets you get the most rare, precious, valuable diamond at a great price. And let me tell you something. I love going to Diamonds Direct, and my wife loves when I go to Diamonds Direct. Isn't that a shocker? And the reason we both love it is every diamond at Diamonds Direct was hand-selected, certified by the world's top gem labs, and held to the highest quality standards. These are not internet diamonds. No second-rate stones, no cloudy or hazy or dull diamonds, no inferior cuts. And another great thing about Diamonds Direct is there's no middleman process and unparalleled buying power. It means they can guarantee you better value. You don't have to compromise. Where else can you get such a high-quality luxury item and be assured of the lowest price? Better product, better people, better warranties, better overall experience. Diamonds Direct at 119th and Row. And tell them Stephen St. John sent you.
Hey guys, Corey Anderson here. Join me this Friday as the Zone broadcasts live from 10 to 2 at Mr. Brew's Tap House in Lawrence. Come out and enjoy the first round of the tournament with us. Grab yourself some good lunch and maybe a brew. And you can also get entered into their Beer Madness contest. Great prizes on the line, 16 different beers, one true champion, the Beer Madness contest at Mr. Brew's Tap House. That's all this Friday from 10 to 2, Mr. Brew's Tap House in the Zone, 3140 Iowa Street in Lawrence.
Kansas City's favorite sports station, 20 years and counting. Sports Radio 810 WHB, Kansas City. This is Almost Entirely Sports with Joshua Brisco.
Whenever we come back, we'll talk about football.
That's a promise that we probably will not be able to live up to. That's next.
On Sports Radio 810, WHB.
We've gotten plenty of breaking news over the course of the show. We've got plenty of news items over the course of the week as the Chiefs attempt to, right now, just retool that offensive line, or at least get it to a place that everyone can be a little more comfortable with. The most recent news you may have missed just a few minutes ago, Herbie Teope of the Kansas City Star says the Chiefs are interested in bringing back Austin Ryder. Just a few days ago, it sounded like it was going the other direction, but bringing Ryder back would at least be one fewer thing to worry about across that offensive line. So we'll talk about that. Also, the Joe Thuney signing earlier today. The Chiefs signed Kyle Long. Guards on guards on guards for the Kansas City Chiefs. We'll talk about it right now with Ryan Tracy. You can follow him on Twitter at Ryan Tracy NFL. Check out everything he does with the Athletic Matrix leading up to the draft. You can watch RGR Football up on YouTube. You can listen to the Locked On Chiefs podcast. Again, Ryan Tracy NFL on Twitter if you want to get all those links in the same place. Ryan, how have you enjoyed this week that has been just exclusively about offensive linemen?
I tell you what, I'm tired and I need an espresso injection about every half an hour. But, you know, I didn't expect it to go this way, but I am pleasantly surprised. You know, see your big detraction, go fix it.
Yeah. I was lamenting earlier that I actually forgot that Trent Williams had signed with the Niners today because it happened at I found out about it at 4:30 a.m. So I rose out of bed like a zombie to go write about it for 30 minutes and then go lay down again and wake up. And it's a new day. It's actually a same day though. We've had all these moving pieces. So it has been, it's been an exhausting time, but an interesting one at the very least. I guess I kind of want to start chronologically with you with where we were at just a week ago, I guess. It's been a week and a couple of days now. Whenever we got the news that the Chiefs were cutting Eric Fisher and Mitchell Schwartz, guys that obviously Cap played a role there, but the injuries that both of them suffered seemed to kind of seal their fate in that regard. Without knowing, obviously, what this week had ended up bringing in terms of the Chiefs' offensive line, what were you thinking as you saw those news bits come down 10 days, I believe, after Brett Veach said they were looking to have both of them back by training camp?
Yeah, I thought when Brett Veach went onto that presser and made that statement, I felt like it was super, flowers in the springtime, rose-colored glasses, like everything is happiness and joy. And then a week later, it's like, oh, reality came back and bit you.
Yep.
I can't say I blame them. I mean, let's be positive about, two of your stars' recovery. I was a little bit taken aback. I didn't expect them both to be released at the same time.
Yeah.
Especially, and I said from day one, it's overly optimistic to expect Eric Fisher to play week one. I was pretty confident in most of the time that you might get 10 games out of him, and that includes the postseason. So I was aiming at week 8 to week 10, something like that. Mitchell's injury, I think, was a whole lot more severe than we ever knew to begin with. I mean, unless you're not good at reading the tea leaves and understand that what was supposed to be a few weeks turned into a few months, but turned into an entire season.
Yeah.
So I was less, optimistic that he would return. I hope that he can get healthy. I don't know if he is going to play ball again.
Yeah.
And if he doesn't, I know he's got a great career ahead of him in cooking media.
Yes.
I will certainly be paying attention, that's for certain. But yeah, it was a big shock, right? And I think what's been more of a shock for me, despite all the run at Trent Williams, is that nothing else has been done about that position.
Let's stay right there then, because that's exactly where I'm at as well. I said this probably the day of the Schwartz and Fisher moves, that I just find it untenable that they would enter the NFL draft with their starting tackles being Martinez Rankin and Lucas Niang. And I've heard lots of people talk about how much they really do love Lucas Niang. I'm just buying that stock just based off the people that I've heard that from. I'm curious if you feel good about him as well. But on the other side, if they go into the draft and it's got to be, the 31 has to be their starting left tackle week one, that makes me nervous. I hate being pigeonholed that way if I'm in from a team's perspective where you know the position you have to take before you know the player that's going to be available. And so they do make that run at Trent Williams, and then since then, I mean, Riley Reif's visiting with the Bengals we saw just a few minutes ago. How are you feeling right now about how the rest of that market played out? And then what were you thinking as the Trent Williams sweepstakes were ongoing?
I was very concerned that the need might overweigh what you're going to get out of Trent Williams. Now, that is to say, I reviewed his film from last season, and for a 32-year-old, he played like he was 28 or 29, so kudos to him. But as we just saw with two, very, very good tackles, you're over 30, you're one injury away from ending your career.
Yeah.
That's just the way that it is. It doesn't matter how good you are. If something breaks at that age, it's really difficult to recover. So investing, what did it come out at, $138 million if it all goes cold? That's a little crazy.
Yeah.
And at 23 a year, when you're paying Frank and Chris, and Tyron's going to get extended, and you have Patrick, obviously, I mean, it becomes a point that until the cap goes up, it's almost untenable.
Yeah.
So I actually think they may have dodged a bullet in terms of, not that Trent would not perform well in 2021 or 2022, but it's that, 2025. Are you still getting your value out of that, or are you eating a huge chunk of dead cap?
Right.
So I think they actually are going to be in better shape at this point. I think it is important for them to add in free agency. I don't think they can be done. I'm sure right now, Ryan Poles and Brett Veach are on the phones, and the fact that Riley in particular is in Cincinnati, he's a guy that I would be trying to talk to as soon as possible, if not already, right? Because I think you need to have a stopgap. So that you can draft a left tackle of the future and do what you did with Mahomes. Park him behind a veteran, let him learn. Because I think the value in the draft class at tackle is in that 25 to 60 range, 65 maybe, if they have to wait for their second pick. But I don't think it's an immediate starter in the draft class, to tell you the truth.
I couldn't agree more on the structure of how the free agent setup would be to have somebody come in where somebody can sit behind. I have not heard a lot of people say that, though, what you just dismounted with there, that if there's a tackle at 31, that whatever your favorite of the group is, you don't think that guy, even at 31, you don't think there's a day one starter in that range?
I think there's a couple of guys that are iffy. And if everything went perfectly, yeah, they could be, and they could survive, and they could progress. But I think it's a lot less clearly defined. There's two tackles at the top of this class, clearly in my mind, and everybody after that has some holes in their game that they have to develop. And being under fire in an offense that has Super Bowl expectations and will have no matter what whenever 15 is lining up a QB, and knowing that despite having opportunities underneath as the season went on, that they continue to put stress on the tackles and make them hold up so that Patrick can attempt to put the ball down the field. I think that's a pretty high stress situation for a rookie to come into.
Yeah.
And I would be concerned about stressing them out to the point where maybe that development is squashed or prolonged.
So in the remaining guys, then, is it just Reef and Alejandro Villanueva for you? Do you have any interest in a Russell Okung? Is there somebody that's more under the radar that you think could come in and be that guy that sits there for a year, maybe two, while somebody else develops?
I think it's a little bit thin. There might be somebody, you could even go all the way to say, we can try to move Bobby Massey over there and see what he can do. If we get the tackle that we think can ascend and should ascend to be our number one. And maybe that is like a stopgap that doesn't mean he has to stopgap for the entire season, right? Maybe you're buying yourself 6 or 8 weeks. But I think Riley's at the top of the list in terms of free agency right now. Okung, I don't know that you want to go there. Again, you're getting less performance at an older age with a higher price tag. That's the kind of formula that I'm looking for right now.
Yeah.
But there's also, there is a possibility that you could always try to wrangle something away here during or in the lead up to the draft. If you have somebody that is a fit, that maybe their team, they're on a different roster right now, maybe they're making moves as well to kind of bolster something. I do feel like Andy, and Brett have a good way about finding guys that fit them that might not fit all the other teams.
So, and then what do you think about the report, again, Herbie Tiopi had just a couple minutes before we called you here tonight, that the Chiefs are apparently now once again interested in bringing back Austin Ryder, because as of right now, I don't know how you feel about Nick Allegretti. I think it's funny that literally 2 weeks ago, I had forgotten that he had played center in college because he didn't even finish his collegiate career there. I think he spent his junior and senior years at guard, and then was a 7th-round pick, and then played pretty well last year, it seemed to me. But he went from, for me at least, from being someone that I had completely forgotten played center to now being like the thing that Chiefs Twitter is very excited about buying stock into right now. Makes me a little bit nervous. Do you like the idea of Ryder coming back pending that contract? Do you like Allegretti in the middle, or do you think that's another just gaping hole on the roster right now?
I think it's a combination of all of it. Like, I think Ryder's the easy catch here. This reminds me a lot of Demarcus Robinson, who was allowed to look and didn't like what he found, and came back cheap. And if that's the way that it goes, then I think it doesn't matter what I think. I think Andy, and Brett are going to be comfortable with that, and it buys them another year if they need to do it. I don't mind the concept of Allegretti. In fact, if I remember correctly, the film that I broke down of him at Illinois was at right tackle. So, I mean, the versatility is definitely there, and if they feel, after seeing him for a couple of preseasons, take some snaps in camp and center and that kind of thing, and they feel that it's a good move, I think they probably, this piece of news from Herbie would not be out there right now.
Yeah.
So that tells me that they're probably leaning towards that's not the direction that they want to go. I wouldn't mind it. I do feel that he plays off the ball in terms of strength coming downhill in the first couple steps. Pretty well, and I would like to see them be able to get a little bit more push. I mean, but you know me, I would line up 11 Anthony Sherman and go for it. So,
I apologize. I feel like I have honestly been rude for not starting this segment by just saying, "Hey, how are you doing?" No Anthony Sherman. I mean, that era is over. I feel like I should have made sure that you were even comfortable doing radio tonight, and that you weren't still in mourning, going into a post Anthony Sherman world.
I appreciate that. I had to go out and do something drastic. I now have a prison tap mohawk. You only see when I shave my head, but you got to do what you got to do.
Yeah. I mean, listen, this last year has been tough for everybody in different ways. To have Anthony Sherman retire on top of all the rest, I mean, it's just a real poop sandwich. But you mentioned that you'd like to just line up 11 Anthony Shermans if you could. You'd like to just see a little more push in the front and all of that. I feel like what I just did also by leading our conversation for 10 minutes to all of the things the Chiefs haven't yet addressed is a microcosm of what I've been doing these last 2 days, where I've seen some people be very excited about Joe Thuney, and I feel like I'm not allowed to be excited about Joe Thuney yet because I'm so worried about who's going to play on either side of him at this point. But I do want to know how you felt about the Thuney signing coming through before we even got anywhere near Kyle Long. They're making him the highest paid guard in NFL history. That his cap hit year one keeps him very flexible this year, which is obviously a nice perk there. But what did you think whenever you saw that come through as one of the three kind of blue chip free agent offensive linemen? The Chiefs went out and got the guard, and he was the first guy off the market there.
You know what I was more encouraged by is that they were going after two of them, and
yeah,
50% completion rate, I'll take in this case, right?
Yeah.
I do have a confession to make. Thuney was my number one interior offensive lineman when he came out, so I've been on him since day one.
Excellent. No, I'm good.
I, like
I could use an influx of you telling me how great he is. I'm very here for that.
Here's the best part of it, is you're not going to find a hole. You're not going to find something that maybe he's great in setting his pass block, but he can't come off the ball. That's not the case.
Yeah.
Maybe you got a guy that's a grinder, the quote-unquote traditional mauler, but he can't move his feet fast enough to not get destroyed in the pass game. That's not the case. Joe Thuney is an all-around guard that I think still has a little bit of upside in him. He's been a second-team All-Pro so far. I think he has it in him to be the best guard at his position. I'm really excited about it because I've wanted him here when it was, hey, are they going to franchise him in New England or not? I thought that was going to be a great fit because of how versatile he is just at the position, let alone the fact that he has played some center in the past. I don't think that's what they're doing. But I think the big takeaway and the thing that makes me most excited, especially in light of what Herbie just told us, it doesn't matter whether it was going to be Eric Fisher or whoever that will be, or if it was going to be Creed Humphrey in the draft at center or whoever that was going to be. Whoever lines up next to Joe Thuney will improve because they're next to Joe Thuney. And that is the X factor. He's a bit of a force multiplier inside that starting five.
That's the exact part of this that I wanted to hone in even more on is what, because it's hard to quantify excellent guard play at a glance. And for me even, I said coming into this offseason, I expected them to spend, after they cut Fisher and Schwartz, that is, I expected them to spend their attention and their money on tackle first, and then after the original Ryder report came out, probably on center second, also in part because I thought they found some success at guard, be it through, a kind of a retread veteran like Colecchio Simile, or with a young guy like Nick Allegretti who got plugged in and played pretty well, it seemed. Even Andrew Wiley, a fine NFL player by my eye. But whenever you do go blue chip and you are willing to pay for a guy that you have that much faith in, that you like his game that much, how much of an impact can he make on the guys around him and, most importantly, really on the quarterback behind him?
I think the best thing about a great guard is that you don't notice it until you realize that your running backs are making cuts on linebackers and that your quarterback has a full pocket to step up into. Does that sound familiar?
Yes. Because
as much as we've been worried about the tackles, you can't have that many gaps up front either.
Yeah.
When you step into the front three. And so creating that wall is what's important. And to have somebody that can help along, especially a guy of this experience level. It'd be one thing if you were, drafting a great athlete who's going to come in and help you at left guard, but this is a guy that, if it's not Austin Ryder, who can clearly make the calls in this offense, if it's a rookie in particular, you have somebody who's been in that trench, has seen everything that's been thrown at him at a championship level, and can help you make the adjustments that you need to make. He allows you to not have to slide everything everywhere all the time because he can line up and go one-on-one with Aaron Donald, not get his tail kicked all day long. So there's enough of it there that I think that it really does help both the pocket development as well as the guys being able to branch out and be a little bit more aggressive and less reactive to what's being thrown at them. I think that will help the line play overall.
And then what did you make of Kyle Long also being added there? Again, all of my theories about the guard position being in relatively good shape compared to the tackle and center spot, right out the window. I've never been more wrong. That's not true. I've been more wrong about plenty of things. But I got that one wrong. What did you think of bringing him in on a deal that could be worth up to $5 million? Right now, we don't know how much of that's incentives.
We talked about that on the podcast today. I think the up to is the really intriguing part. And I think that I'm happy to see that because I think it protects the Chiefs. We have to remember that Kyle's got a long injury history. He was retired for a reason. It wasn't that he just decided he didn't like football anymore. 2019 was rough on him. And when he was in the game, he didn't play overly well. That was all, I think, a physical phenomenon going on a year out. I'm excited to see what he has. You can't put all your eggs in the basket. I don't care that he's doing reverse hypers with 135 on the ball. That's great to see, especially one-legged. Kudos to Utah. But that's not on the field. That's not taking on stunts and being able to move. I have to say that I'm optimistic about it, but you have to have that grain of salt in the back of your head that says, hey, there's been a history here. Let's see what happens. So for everyone thinking, I got a ton of questions when this happened. Can he move out and take the tackle spot? He hasn't been a tackle since 2015, according to PFF, and I had to go back and dig out the stats. So that's important. I don't think he's here to be a tackle. I think between him and LDT both coming off of 2020 where they didn't play, they're going to piece it together and compete, and maybe they're going to have to trade off a little bit. But I think this is about having 5 guys that can play on any given Sunday, not necessarily whether they will every Sunday.
Well, and so I'm curious then, 'cause the thing that I find maybe most interesting is he and LDT are probably going to make a pretty similar amount of money. LDT's locked in a little bit over 5, and again, Kyle Long up to 5. We'll figure that out. But both of those guys are coming off of, for very different reasons, a year without football. And so as much as I am kind of an optimist, I think, about LDT at this point, his worst year was immediately following a huge leg injury. So again, that's I think why I'm an optimist at this point. If you have that entire guard group, and let's say Allegretti's not playing center, and you do have Wiley back, because the Chiefs brought him back already. If you have LDT and Long and Allegretti and Wiley all as various either depth health insurance for each other or as competition, do you have a preference for which one of those guys would come out on top opposite Tooney? And then how do you feel about that depth overall at that position?
I love the depth. I think that shows you that at least at the interior, that they can survive the injuries that we saw last season at the tackle spot.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that wraps it up. I think they both have a bit of a nastier streak than we've seen lately, and the ability to deploy it in a more forceful way. So you're going to love this. I'd line up two of those guys as extra tackles. And let's put 6 or 7 linemen out there and just see what happens, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you're going to give us 6-man boxes, we'll take it all day long.
Yeah.
But in reality, you have the ability for one of those guys who didn't play last year to come out of the gate and win the job. And if he stumbles with an injury, or if he stumbles with, being back in football shape, you hit that 6-game, 8-game spot and you're wore out and your body's starting to break down, you've got another quality guy to step right back in there. And it's not like hunting for a developmental guy. It's not trying to find someone who can switch positions again.
Yeah.
Those two guys can man that spot and help you.
Yeah, I do think there's value to that. I keep being distracted by the things that aren't here yet. So last thing on the offensive line, I think you've kind of given it in bits and pieces, but I'm curious if I just gave you the keys right now and you have to work within the salary cap the way the Chiefs do. You've got all of these pieces currently locked in, but what are you doing in terms of choices that have to be made before the draft across the offensive line?
So do you mean that I have Brad Tillis and the cap is active and I can do what I want?
Oh, I think we lost you there for a second, Ryan. Sorry, what was your question?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm saying, do I have Brad Tillis and the cap is actually a fictitious thing? I can do whatever I want?
Yeah, you have Brant Tillis, and the cap is a suggestion that the NFL would like for you to respect in some regard.
I like that. I would extend both Hill and Matthew right now. I would try to get as much space as you can. I would probably trading one of the guards if you feel that one of them is healthier than the other.
Interesting.
See if you can get more draft capital. Not be afraid to spend on the receiver group right now. This free agent class so plentiful that they are now looking like gardens. So after he field, not necessarily invest in. And in the draft, I would go after on offense, your edge rusher on defense, and not. I think the depth is better than the ceiling is, so that you can take a couple bites at the apple and back up Mike Dana and see to the path. He went under the radar, unfortunately, for how well he played as I think second down guy, but I think they need a designated pass rusher to get the job done and hit somebody that is trying to throw a pass. So that's.
I'm gonna toggle Ryan on hold really quick here, Beards. I don't know if we have to do another one. It's just absolutely fitting that I would ask for kind of the the magnum opus of your offseason plan after his phone had been fine the entire show.
Yeah.
And then could I get your 30,000-foot magnum opus plan? And then it's Ryan Tracy featuring Daft Punk. It's just not. And listen. I could see it in Rudy's face. I could see it in Beards' face. I probably should have hit that button sooner, but I just kept getting tempted. I got so tempted.
It was good enough to.
It kept coming back in. It was like, it's just a little burp on the phone line. It'll be all right. It's a phone line. And then it cut out again. And then it was back again, and then it cut out again. I kept getting tempted. But Ryan, I kept getting tempted by your phone line because it would burp out for a second, and then it would settle back in. Oh, Mike Dana? What about Mike Dana? Wub, 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 wub. So I think that without knowing it, you did accidentally make your first EDM album just now as well, which is pretty exciting.
Hey, I'm always trying to be creative, so.
Now it sounds like you're in the room with us. That was the clearest any phone line's ever been, what just happened. That was beautiful.
I am there. It's the Star Trek thing.
Star Trek thing. I think it's kicked in again. This is. I was gonna let you go, Ryan, after getting your big magnum opus there that we only got bits and pieces of. So I will just do that now because You, over the course of the last 25 minutes, gave us far better analysis than anyone's going to get any other 25 minutes over the course of today's show, even including the part at the end where we cut out. So I'm going to let you go, Ryan. Thank you very much for making some time tonight. We will absolutely be talking to you probably multiple times ahead of the draft because I want to get every little bit of information we can get out of the athletic matrix, and I want to get people to all of the work that you're doing, especially all the times that they can hear you more clearly than our phone lines will allow. Thank you, Ryan.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Follow him on Twitter at Ryan Tracy NFL, and you will not have to use our phone line or his. He lives in the mountains. We've got old phones. It's just, I feel blessed that we got 25 minutes successfully from Ryan without eventually running into the issue of, again, him being a mountain man and us having phones by a brand that doesn't exist anymore. That's the balance.
Picked a good year to be a mountain man.
That's true. He was ready for this.
The last year, if you're going to be a mountain man, the last year was like proof of this is why you do it. This is why we live this life.
One thing that I got from the beginning there before of his last answer, before we faded out a little bit, extend Matthew. I think he said Tyreek Hill as well. Extend both of those guys right now. Free up that cap space, and as he was saying earlier, I think what he was circling back to is go get Riley Reif, put him at left tackle. I personally, we'll talk more about Austin Ryder whenever we circle back next segment, but I don't know if he was going to pursue somebody else in the middle there or if it was going to be an Austin Ryder situation, but either way, I feel really good about where we started that conversation, which is don't back yourself into a corner going into the draft. Find the veterans you can go in with here. I'm fascinated by, especially after what we've, the varying conversations we've had with like Tucker and Jordan about the guys in this draft that they like, even the guys they very much expect to be there at 31. Ryan is not high at all, doesn't seem like, on guys that are going to be able to come in and start day one. Now, if the Chiefs want to draft Liam Eichenberg and they're doing it behind a year of Riley Reif or whatever, I think everyone's pretty happy with that, even if it's just for behind, if it's 1 year, if it's 8 games, maybe it's enough for those guys to get their feet under them. But going into the rest of this offseason with that in mind right now as kind of a guiding principle, I think is really interesting. Let's take a break. Whenever we come back, I want to talk a little bit more about that news about Austin Ryder and also maybe some more news of the day. I haven't gotten to make my Ben Neiman point yet, which if that's not a radio tease for the ages, I don't know what is.
Did you know you can listen to Almost Entirely Sports anywhere, anytime? Well, you can. Just search for Almost Entirely Sports wherever you get your podcasts.
Hey everyone, it's Tim Grunhardt. You know I've been around Kansas City since being drafted in 1990, and I knew after the first season that I was here, this was going to be home. Kansas Cityans embraced me, and I didn't look back. One of the things I love about Kansas City are the great people. People like my friends at Roberts Robinson Chevrolet Buick GMC of Excelsior Springs. Cars and trucks are very personal to me, so having the best is important. I've been a customer for a few years now, and I couldn't be happier. They're the professionals, they're courteous, and more importantly, they make me feel like family. Roberts Robinson is what Kansas City is all about. Good people working hard to keep us going. Right now, they have their 2020 sell-down event. There's only a few 2020s left at these low prices. Till the end of March, there's 0% financing for up to 72 months on select models. Drive to Excelsior Springs and check out Roberts Robinson, or shop online at robertsrobinson.com. Tell them that Mr. Truck sent you, a.k.a. Grunny.
Hey, folks, this is Nate Bucati from my friend Gary Joslin and Joslin's Jewelry. Look, in this day and age, most jewelry stores won't give you the service or knowledge that you need. If you want to work with real Kansas Cityans and get a great diamond at a great price, trust me, go to Joslin's. They're all about making friends and having long-term relationships. That's why they do such a great business with their in-house repairs. If you take your ring into one of those big box jewelry stores because it needs a repair, be prepared to pay all kinds of markups and fees that you don't need. That's not what they do at Joslin's. At Joslin's, you get an honest quote, a fair price, and the repairs that you need. And they've got a great selection of diamonds. So give them a call today at 913-341-2021, or you can look them up online at joslinsjewelry.com. Joslin's Jewelry, the jeweler you'll recommend to your friends and family.
Joslin's Jewelry, for the best that's yet to come.
Car enthusiasts, looking for the best place to store and show off your car? Check out the Casey Underground, Kansas City's car collection. KC Underground is part of the Kansas City Automotive Museum and provides a safe place to store your vehicle with 24-hour monitoring while sharing its history. Call today to reserve a spot underground for your car. Use the promo code 810 and you'll receive a 10% discount. Go to thekcunderground.com or call 816-492-7147 and mention 810-WHB. If you can see the skyline, the KC Underground is just moments away.
Hey, Kansas City, spring training isn't just for baseball players. You can lose those pandemic pounds and get into shape before the warmer weather hits, since it only takes 40 days to lose a contractually guaranteed 20 to 40 plus pounds with NJ Diet. NJ Diet's program starts with bioenergetically personalized supplements based on your hair, saliva, and blood work. Then, NJ Diet uses DNA testing to create your ideal diet and workout regimen to help you keep it off. Don't want to do it alone? NJ Diet is with you every step of the way. You'll be fully monitored by their certified staff to make sure you're burning fat and not just losing water. You'll also get the doctor's personal email and phone number. NJ Diet offers live online video consultations, and they have a location right off 435 off the corner of College and Metcalf. Call 855-5NJ-DIET. That's 855-5NJ-DIET. Or go to njdiet.com and lose the weight for good. That's njdiet.com.
The Tournament of Savings is at Robert Brogdon Buick GMC in Olathe. Get slam dunk deals on all remaining 2020 Buick models, including up to $15,000 off a new Buick Enclave or 32% off a new Buick Encore. Plus, they've got the area's largest inventory of 2021 GMC Sierra 1500s. You'll score big with Brogdon's outstanding selection, service, and savings. Visit Robert Brogdon Buick GMC on I-35 in Santa Fe and Olathe or at robertbrogdon.com. On select models includes all available incentives and rebates. See dealer for details.
You're listening to Almost Entirely Sports.
Jason came in and got this computer connected to the internet for us because I wanted to be able to get Facebook comments on this other monitor in here. It currently says, system shut down. The system is shutting down. Please save all work in progress and log off. And it's just counting down that there is an impending shutdown. Also, Chrome will not update in here because it's no longer supporting, I bleep you not, Windows XP, which is what this computer is actually running.
With Joshua Brisco.
So that's distressing.
On Sports Radio 810 WHB.
Thanks again to Ryan Tracy. Follow him on Twitter at Ryan Tracy NFL. Beards, what are you gesticulating at? Is that breaking news? You know what? Just hit the breaking news thing.
Okay.
You were so excited by something you saw on television that I think it constitutes breaking news.
Furkan Korkmaz of the Philadelphia 76ers hit a 3 at the buzzer. Not quite at the buzzer. There's 0.4 seconds left to tie the game after they blew the lead to the Bucks. It was a good shot.
Can I get that name one more time?
Furkan Korkmaz.
Making up names.
I mean, it sounds like you're trying not to curse on the radio.
I was trying not to curse.
Well, yeah. But you go, what is it?
Furkan Korkmaz.
Furkan Korkmaz. Like that's, it sounds like you're cursing in Russian. Say it as angrily as you can.
Oh, Furkan Korkmaz.
It sounds like you're cursing in Russian. That's absolutely what it sounds like. Follow Ryan Tracy on Twitter at Ryan Tracy NFL. Get all of his links to everything he does there. The free agency analysis, he's a machine 24/7, honestly. His draft stuff is probably the thing that he's doing like most uniquely, outrageously good. So that coming up will be an excellent time to be following Ryan. But dude's got great analysis all over the place every time. I'm just seeing there's some really just like annoying, angry people on Twitter about Austin Ryder. It's very weird. I wanted to talk about him some here. And like I'm just very confused by the energy that certain people appear to be bringing to the chat on this one, not our chat, just on Twitter in a way that's genuinely confusing to me. Anyway, here's why I am perfectly okay with the Chiefs bringing back Austin Ryder, and also why I thought they were going to bring him back before this free agency really kicked into full swing, and why I wanted them to, honestly. It's one more known quantity, and it's one less hole to fill, and it's not some disastrous like just making the most of what you can at the edges situation. I've lost them now here. Twitter's moving too fast. Because I wanted to, here's Sam Hayes tweeted this out on Twitter, which is where you tweet things. Saying, in the passing game, he has 4 total sacks plus hits allowed in 2 years as a starter, including 0 last season. His biggest weakness is probably just not being great in the run blocking game. He's not a road grader. He's not getting a ton of push. I understand that. But also, if he's playing between the NFL's highest paid guard and a very highly paid second guard, be it LDT or the relatively highly paid Kyle Long, that's going to help situations. That's going to help the matter. It'll be better than replacing Nick Allegretti, God bless him, with Joe Thuney should, based on what the Chiefs paid, should make that entire interior offensive line significantly more productive in pretty much every facet of the game. If the Chiefs sign somebody whose name we all just learned just now, and the stat we saw was he's allowed 4 total sacks plus hits in his 2 years as a starter, including none last year, Twitter would pop off. People would be thrilled. But because it's Austin Ryder, and I'm not saying that's a great metric to do all of the judgments by, but if we saw that metric, I think that would be enough for almost everybody. Like to say, oh yeah, I mean, that sounds like a great addition, and we can do it on maybe a 1-year deal that's relatively cheap. I just think everyone would have been excited about that if it was just a Madden create a player that we were all learning about in real time. So I don't understand some of the vitriol. He's not Corey Linsley. He's not the world's best center, but he's perfectly serviceable. And I guess if you want to hold out for 5 blue chip linemen across your offensive line, that's fine. You're going to be holding out for a long time, and you're going to have me playing linebacker for you because even as I believe the salary cap is largely a suggestion, you can't pay all 5 of your starting offensive linemen $20 million and then also have all the depth that you wanted at the end of last season whenever everyone was getting hurt. Those are just all factors, all working together. It's really strange. It's really weird to me. It's just, I don't know. It's a aggressive anti-Austin Ryder sentiment that I just don't think really plays itself out. I don't even know why he's the scapegoat. I honestly, I kind of even understood, I think it was misplaced, but Andrew Wiley, people being mad about Andrew Wiley being back, I almost understood more, even though I also, again, think it's not accurate, because he ended up being a scapegoat in the Super Bowl, but he was out of position there, really. I mean, he's a guard. He's not a tackle. He should be playing guard. Same for Mike Rimmers. I can at least point and I can figure out why people are being mad at any of those guys for their most recent, most memorable poor play. There's somebody on Twitter right now who's saying, I hope the Chiefs lowball him because he went out and tried to get paid in the market. Yeah, dude, that's what free agency is. If you're a free agent, the whole point is to go test the market and see where you can make the most money. And if you find out, Ryan compared him, to Demarcus Robinson last segment. If you go out and you find out your market's not what you thought it was going to be, and the team that was going to let you walk is suddenly interested again, then you can take that and still make a lot of money. I don't know. I think maybe I'm hyper focusing on 2 or 3 people that are being extremely weird online. But he's a Seth on the most recent Times R's, or 2 Times R's ago now, I guess, said he was tofu. He's gonna take on. Actually, he may have said that about somebody else. Now that I think about it, I think it's also applicable to Austin Ryder.
I think it was Austin Ryder.
I think it was. That show and all of everything's just been
I understand how it's hard to remember
brain smoothie
because you ended up spending 10 minutes berating him for not
knowing what the word tofu was.
Yeah.
He could not come up with the word tofu. It was very funny.
Yeah,
but
I gotta say, I don't know if I've ever actually seen tofu in person either.
You've seen it because you've gone to Chipotle.
But I don't know. But here's the thing: I never walk through the line at Chipotle. I order and I pick it up.
All right, fair enough.
I don't know if I've ever stared tofu in the eyes. Does tofu have eyes?
Yes.
Got it.
All vegan food still has eyes.
I assume so.
Yeah.
Because the eyes is not the problem. It's the bones and that stuff. That's what really gets them. But the eyes.
Tofu has eyes, but no soul.
Yeah. And that's what you're looking. That's what vegetarians want.
Yeah. It's also, if you're like a pescatarian, fish don't have souls. Nah. Fish don't have souls.
Nope.
Cows and pigs? Maybe. On the line.
That's why they're so tasty.
It's true.
Dogs,
It's
yes.
very true.
Cats, yes, but it's a twisted soul.
Yeah, it's not a good soul.
But there's a soul there. It's just been touched by the devil.
Not every soul is a good soul.
Absolutely. Dogs,
Dogs'
yes.
souls are pure.
All pure.
It is the purest form a soul could ever take on.
Cats have souls, but it's a toss-up at best.
Mm-hmm.
The whole, you want to go pigs, cows, dolphins, that kind of
Dolphins
range.
are like cats. Their souls are.
I don't think that's true at all.
Dolphins are the jerks of the ocean.
I think.
No. I learned
otters are the cats of the ocean.
I learned this in high school. Dolphins are the jerks of the ocean.
That is 100% true.
Yes.
You guys have a lot of dolphin experience?
No, it's
very
because
weird. We should call our chief bracketologist back and ask her about this.
My understanding is because dolphins understand essentially that they're just smarter than every other, thing out there in the ocean.
Guess that makes me a jerk too.
You are a real dolphin.
I'm also like a dolphin. I am perfectly hairless. Beards. I know this is whenever I was from neck down. From whenever I was in the control room, yesterday, 2 days ago, trying to figure out the Twitch chat.
Yeah.
Some piece of equipment in there makes a noise that sounds like mechanical breathing. It sounds like Darth Vader is living somewhere in like the equipment over there.
I hear it. Yeah.
So
crank your mic really quick.
Just all of our equipment.
You hear it, right?
Yes.
It's weird. I don't like it.
I do not know what that is.
I don't know what it is either, but I don't care for it because I think that equipment has a soul.
I was about to say there might be a soul in our radio feed,
but no eyes. So eat it. Eat your equipment in there, Beards.
It tastes good.
I think it's coming from the tech somewhere. I think there's a fan in the technology.
I think it's the fan above me.
I don't think so. I was literally we were working on trying to get. So I didn't even mention it whenever I was in there last time because we were trying to get everything figured out. Yeah. I was thinking about it for like a little while. It has stuck with me, and I can hear it now.
Yeah. I've never really heard it till you've mentioned it, but I hear it.
It's spooky.
It's clear.
It's spooky. I don't like it.
I think it's just the fan in the room.
I think it's over there, dude. Do you hear it? Do you hear whenever?
Yes, I hear it. I just can't place where it is, and I think it's the fan above
I think it's coming from the stack of equipment to your right, my left. I think it's over there somewhere. It very much sounded like it was coming from a side, not from above, whenever I was in there. But I don't know. You can continue to investigate that. I'm going to start tweeting at people who I think are being really weird about Austin Ryder for no particular reason. I'd be perfectly happy to have him back. He can be the tofu in the middle of that offensive line. That's fine. Because here's the thing. The seasonings around him now are better. If he is the tofu of Andrew Wiley, Nick Allegretti, you're in a lot better hands with Joe Thuney, Kyle Long, or Joe Thuney, LDT. It's the whole point of signing those guys. Theoretically, makes the guys around them better, more tasty. Now the metaphor has gotten weird. That's my logic for it. Let's take another break so we have more than 45 seconds in the next segment. I'm still eventually going to talk about Ben Neiman.
Take the show with you wherever you go. Listen live on the Sports Radio 810 mobile app and 810WHB.com. Your home for March Madness. Sports Radio 810 WHB.
3-ball. Count it. Butler right corner to T. 3. Yes. Marcus Garrett looking to drive. Gets to the cup. Right hand runner goes. Frazier with a 3. And he stuck it from way out top. Rebound loose. Brooks saves it. Finds Dickinson for a two-hand stop.
The road to the Final Four starts here on Sports Radio 810 WHB.
How does A1 Mortgage beat those big bank rates and still offer no out-of-pocket closing costs? Because A1 Mortgage is from Little Old Lee Summit, and we pay Little Old Lee Summit rent. You know who pays rent for those big banks? You do. A1 Mortgage has been servicing the entire Kansas City area from Little Old Lee Summit since 2007. We've always been your hometown mortgage lender that offers the lowest interest rates. When it's time for your family to purchase or refinance a home, call A1 Mortgage in Little Old Lee Summit now and have your loan approved in about an hour and closed in about 10 days. 816-822-8888. That's 816-822-8888. Download our app or apply online at a1mortgage.com. A1 Mortgage, 816-822-8888 or a1mortgage.com.
A1 Mortgage, making your dreams a reality is what we do.
A1 Mortgage Group, LLC, a Kansas and Missouri licensed mortgage company, NMLS 268370. Terms and conditions apply, subject to change without notice.
Jason Anderson here. I don't have to tell you that shopping for a home is one of the most important financial decisions you'll ever make. At First Mortgage Direct, they serve you in the most honest and transparent way. Whether you're buying your first home or refinancing to get cash out, they'll unleash the power of the right mortgage by helping you secure an outstanding mortgage rate. Helping you buy a home with an affordable purchase mortgage is their top priority, factoring in loan amount and credit profile, as well as down payment details to provide a mortgage solution just for you. Finding the best mortgage starts with your lender, so get started with First Mortgage Direct as you take one step closer to home ownership. 855-222-5102 is the number. If you're ready to take the first step in your home buying experience, you can go to fmdloans.com today or call 855-222-5102. Again, that's 855-222-5102. First Mortgage Direct, the first step to a better future.
First Mortgage Solutions, LLC, DBA First Mortgage Direct, NMLS ID number 244476.
With spring approaching, it brings new sounds. Birds chirping and dripping icicles. KC will be in full bloom soon. What better time to get outdoors? Your hometown friends at Bushnell are here, and we want you to enjoy this time of year and share your passion for the outdoors. Camping, target shooting, hunting, or heading out to the ballpark. Bushnell has what you need to get outside and enjoy the spring season. Visit the Bushnell Factory Outlet or check out bushnell.com to see the latest assortment in binoculars, rifle scopes, rangefinders, and more.
All month long, Hog Wild for Hoops is back at Zarda Barbecue. Dine in, drive through, or carry out our Hog Wild sandwich. Thinly sliced ham, fresh pulled pork, melted provolone, and 2 strips of bacon on a toasted Roma bun for just $7.99. And we'll throw in a side of Zarda's award-winning burnt-in beans for free. Come to Zarda Barbecue today for our Hog Wild sandwich, available for a limited time with a side of burnt-in beans for only $7.99. Zarda Barbecue, come get some.
March Madness is back, and so is Sports Radio 810's Bracket Challenge. Go to 810WHB.com and click on the Bracket Challenge icon to get signed up today. You can win great prizes from Hy-Vee, 23rd Street Brewery, and a $500 gift card to Shaman's Leewood Total Wellness. Head to 810WHB.com and click on the Bracket Challenge icon to get signed up. Then pick your teams and sit back and enjoy the madness. Brought to you by CBD American Shaman, 23rd Street Brewery, Hy-Vee Plus, and Xfinity Mobile.
You're listening to Almost Entirely Sports with Joshua Brisco.
My deepest apologies for making those squishy tongue sounds. Can you turn my mic up a little bit, please, Beards? Turn it up just a little bit, and we'll go to break.
Never.
Turn my mic up a little bit, please.
No.
Do it.
No.
Do it.
No.
Do it.
No.
Do it.
Nope.
You can't define me.
I am in control of your mic.
I'll get you fired in this commercial break.
Good luck.
Yeah, I can't. There's no way.
On Sports Radio 810 WHB.
I messed up getting in fights on Twitter. I'm going to talk about Ben Neiman, which should really cool down the temperature in the room.
Something that we can all agree on.
Oh,
Ben
hold
Neiman,
on. I just
coach's
saw...
son.
Never mind. It's just Steven.
Works hard.
Just SSJ retweeting Herbie's tweet. I saw a Herbie tweet pop up, and the sort of dull, aching headache that I've had for about 6 hours turned into a sharp one for a moment and then dulled back out again. Anyway, that might also just be Twitter. I don't know if that's Twitter, caffeine, or lack of sleep. Or just also, I have probably spent, on iPhone, I dropped my cap of my pen, and then I dropped the dolphin. Speaking of dolphins, the dolphin off the top of my microphone. Hold
Real
on.
dolphin over here.
That's fair. What was I talking about before, between Ben Neiman and this?
Caffeine, lack of sleep, jitters, fights on Twitter. You're happy the Chiefs signed Ben Neiman.
Don't put words in my On iPhone,
I can only assume that's where you're going.
On iPhone, it'll give you a screen report at the end of the week, and it'll say how much time you've averaged looking at your screen or whatever.
Mm-hmm. I was down this week. Made me feel better.
I'm probably also going to be down this week because I've spent so much time staring at bigger screens.
Yep.
And I don't.
That's what I always realize. Whenever it says like you've spent less time staring at your cell phone, it's because I had more time to watch TV or stare at my computer.
For me, it's just like if this doesn't. I don't have this, but if there was some sort of way that I could just, that they have like eye tracking technology if you're wearing like certain glasses or whatever that'll track them. I bet I have been staring at a screen of some sort these last 2 or 3 days, like 80 to 90% of my waking hours.
I would say, the reality is, I bet 90% is like my average of staring at a screen of some sort.
That's not healthy, right?
No.
That can't be good.
No.
That's bad.
But also, I think that's
horrible.
I think that's 90% of America.
I think.
I mean, it could be more, but I feel confident saying at least 90. Also, I was just saying 90, so it's just like 90 and 90, just doubling down on the 90s.
I think we're being awfully generous to ourselves if we go that way.
Like the reality is, essentially every job is involved looking at a screen at some
breaking
point.
news! Daniel Jeremiah has Justin Fields as his 4th quarterback on his rankings. Bucky Brooks has him 2nd. Sorry, Rudy, go ahead.
Yeah. I would say just most jobs in general, right? I don't know too many jobs out there that don't require you to stare at a screen all day.
I have let's see, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8 screens here.
And obviously,
and one of them's breathing on you.
And we're obviously
not including my phone.
To the extreme, right?
Yeah.
Like we have more screens up than the average person for obvious reasons.
I feel like I feel like I have been locked in on them more than usual. Let me talk about Ben Neiman for 2 minutes because we're going to go full Pokemon last hour, and unless something...
Well, you have a little over 2 minutes, so perfect.
Perfect. The Chiefs brought back Ben Neiman. We do not have the terms of this deal, but whenever Matt Verderame tweeted about it, he said that they had put a tender on Charvarius Ward, and they had re-signed Ben Neiman.
1 year is $30 million, I assume.
It's the Taysom Hill deal, actually. It's 4 years, so $140 million.
If Ben Neiman got a I'd be so happy.
I would love to see what Twitter was. What Twitter would look like. I'm having an existential crisis thinking about what do I do other than look at screens now.
Talk about Ben Neiman.
What do people used to do?
Talk about Ben Neiman.
They looked at screens all day.
Give me Ben Neiman news. Give me the hot take. Give me the good stuff.
They did this with Darrell Williams. They I think it was an original round tender for Byron Pringle. But for like Darrell Williams, I think for somebody else now I'm wondering who it was. But definitely for Darrell Williams, they did not tender him. I think it's also the case for Nick Keiser, who's pending at the moment. They did not tender them. They offered them another deal. The reason for doing that would be to pay them less than the $2.1 million that you get with an original round tender. So my guess is that Ben Neiman is going to come back making just about as little money as the Chiefs can legally pay him under the confines of the NFLPA. And that he'll come back and he will be a core special teamer. The Chiefs also lost Anthony Sherman, a core special teamer. And if he's making more than $2 million, I'll be very surprised. If it's significantly less than that, I think it's going to be fine. If he's your second or third linebacker, you're in bad shape. If he's your fourth or fifth linebacker and is a core special teamer, it's fine.
Yeah.
This is also the deal with them signing Andrew Wiley and bringing him back. Your backups are not going to be as good as your starters, and if guys get hurt, you're going to have to test that depth, and it's going to be there's a real moving target there. But to some extent, you got to have role players that can come in and actually just do a role generally well enough. Ben Neiman can definitely do that on special teams. Mm-hmm. He might be able to do it in certain situations defensively. It's okay. All right, everybody?
It's okay.
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 You are listening to Almost Entirely Sports with Joshua Brisco on Sports Radio 810 WHB.
Mercedes-Benz is the automotive manufacturer that stands above all others. And in Kansas City, the Mercedes-Benz dealer that has been named Best of the Best is Mercedes-Benz of Kansas City. Mercedes-Benz of Kansas City in Kansas City, Missouri, Overland Park, Lee Summit, and Olathe. Your local Mercedes-Benz new and used car, truck, and SUV dealership. If you're looking for a new vehicle or a certified pre-owned Mercedes-Benz, your source is Mercedes-Benz of Kansas City, 1/2 mile east of 135th and State Line, or online at mbofkc.com. The Kansas City market's #1 volume certified pre-owned Mercedes-Benz dealer.
Hi, this is Kevin Harlan. Our family has been a loyal Mercedes of KC customer for years. Stop in at MBKC of Kansas City and see why we love them so much. They take pride in their vehicles. They provide great customer experience and satisfaction. MB of KC is your local Mercedes-Benz new and used car, truck, and SUV dealership. 1/2 mile east of 135th and State Line on Highway 150.
Whether you're looking for energy savings for the winter or updating your home office or man cave, One Stop Decorating is the place for beautiful energy-efficient window coverings. One Stop Decorating offers free in-home or virtual consultations, or you can come into one of their 3 beautiful showrooms to see all the window coverings in their Hunter Douglas galleries. Ask about smart shades that can be controlled by Google, Alexa, and HomeKit. 913-270-0408, 913-270-0408, or onestopdecorating.com. Your home, your windows, your style.
We've been known as one of the top-rated lawn and tree companies in the Midwest for over 30 years. And last year, our 5-star ratings grew another 400%. And I think I know why. This is Larry Ryan at Ryan Lawn and Tree. And for some, seeing is believing. It's one thing to hear me talk on the radio about our college-degree turf managers, horticulturists, and certified arborists. It's another thing altogether to actually watch them practice their craft at your home. And that's exactly what happened last year. Working from home, our customers saw our Ryan Pros in action, and your reviews made me feel very blessed. Ryan Pros are not low-paid seasonal workers like the other guys hire. They are employee owners recruited from the best college horticulture programs in the country. Visit us at ryanlawn.com today and have a Ryan Pro out for a free estimate. I think you'll notice a difference the moment you see that clean red truck. That's ryanlawn.com.
What's up, Kansas City? Jake Gutierrez here to tell you about my friends from Lightstream, a division of SunTrust Bank. Are you thinking about the high interest rate credit cards you used over the holidays? I am. When it comes to refinancing your credit cards, you've got options. But only Lightstream was ranked #1 by J.D. Power for customer satisfaction with personal loans. Lightstream's credit card consolidation loans start at just 5.95% APR with autopay and excellent credit. You could save yourself thousands in interest. You can even get your money the same day that you apply. Apply today for a credit card consolidation loan from the company J.D. Power, ranked #1 for customer satisfaction in personal loans. Plus, get an additional interest rate discount simply by going to lightstream.com/Jake. It's lightstream.com/Jake. Subject to credit approval, rates range from 5.95% APR to 19.99% APR. Include 0.50% autopay discount. Lowest rates require excellent credit. Terms and conditions apply. Offers are subject to change without notice. Visit lightstream.com/Jake for more information.
Whether you're looking for energy savings for the winter or updating your home office or man cave, One Stop Decorating is the place for beautiful energy-efficient window coverings. One Stop Decorating offers free in-home or virtual consultations, or you can come into one of their 3 beautiful showrooms to see all the window coverings in their Hunter Douglas galleries. Ask about smart shades that can be controlled by Google, Alexa, and HomeKit. 913-270-0408, 913-270-0408, or onestopdecorating.com. Your home, your windows, your style.
Kansas City's favorite sports station, 20 years and counting. Sports Radio 810 WHB, Kansas City.
Is Sports Center.
Hello there. I'm Mark Robbins. Overtime in the opener of the ESPN Wednesday night NBA doubleheader. Sixers hosting the Bucks, and Milwaukee gets 32 points, 15 boards from Giannis, and a 109-105 win. Now, Game 2 underway in Dallas. Mavs and the Clippers going at it. A little more than 2.5 minutes to go in the first quarter. The Clippers up 20-18. Earlier, without Kyrie Irving, who's resting, and Kevin Durant, who's injured, the Nets still had James Harden to take on the Pacers.
Harden, yes, sir! 103-98. James Harden, a sniper. 11-2 Brooklyn run.
All the excitement on the Yes Network. Harden with 40 points, 10 rebounds, and 15 assists as Brooklyn gets the victory, 124-115. More NFL free agent signings. Browns wideout Rashard Higgins staying in Cleveland. It's a one-year deal, according to ESPN's Jake Trotter. And with less than 24 hours to go before the start of the NCAA men's basketball tournament, Oklahoma finds out it will be without guard Davion Howard because of a positive COVID-19 test. He'll miss at least 2 games for the Sooners, who open up Saturday against Missouri. Howard, OU's second leading scorer, averages 13 points a game. And on the women's side, assistant coach for UConn, Shea Ralph, going home as a precaution. A family member has tested positive for COVID-19.
Hey, it's Greeny, and Thursday we're giving you advice for breaking down your bracket so you can win with your sheet of integrity, and Scott Pioli will analyze all the moves of NFL free agency. That's with me, Greeny, starting 10 a.m. Eastern on ESPN Radio and ESPN+.
This is Almost Entirely Sports with Joshua Brisco.
It's funny to everyone forever whenever you get given a PP up in a Pokemon game, right? Like, that never stops being funny for anybody else. Because it's been funny. That's what I'm saying. You go into our ads, you get some little PP up.
We have ads for that.
Yeah.
On Sports Radio 810 WHB.
Beards, this music is fine. I mean, it's a good, nice little bump music. It's a nice bump music. You know, it's a fine little jam we got going on here. It's a nice little vibe. But this is going to be our last show for a few days. No shows this week.
I thought you were about to tell me something like, maybe you want to tell me this off the air first?
No, it's our last show until I think next Wednesday. Is that right?
You just keep saying last show, and I'm just like, oh God, here we go.
Is that correct? Is our next show is Wednesday, I believe, right?
I don't know if we've gotten the schedule for that far in advance, but in theory it should be. Because I know it's not Monday or Tuesday. There shouldn't be anything on Wednesday.
With it being theoretically our next AES on Wednesday, this is certainly our last show before all the NCAA basketball coverage and all of March Madness that you'll hear all month long here on Sports Radio 810.
Should have next Wednesday and Thursday. Monday's NCAA tournament, Tuesday's the NAIA championship game, and then Friday is the NCAA tournament.
You can hear all of those things here on Sports Radio 810. And it means this is our last show before Tournament Madness begins at every corner. We have to figure out our bracket here tonight. We are the selection committee for our Almost Entirely Sports bracket in 2021. We will be setting up the bracket. You, the people, will get to vote on it. We will be setting up the bracket here in this hour. The Almost Entirely Sports 2021 March Madness bracket of Gen 1 Pokemon.
This is a bop right here.
There's a lot of different ways we could do this here, guys, but I have gone through just a big list of Pokemon, and I would like to... some bad sounds, Rudy. Really unpleasant sounds.
Do we know which gym battle this is from? It's been a while since I played the game.
I think this is actually from second gen. It's the Final Four.
I was gonna say this sounds like a Final Four thing.
I played Soul Silver semi-recently, so this is excellent.
Semi-recently?
Yeah.
How recently?
Like the last year or so.
Piers, so do you have Soul Silver?
Yes.
Do you have like the box still by chance?
Oh no, I bought it used.
I was gonna say because you could legit sell that game right now for like $400 to $500.
No, I bought it from GameStop or whatever.
Yeah, I'm just telling you, it's on eBay right now for like Heart Gold and Soul Silver are selling for like $500 on eBay now. It's wild.
Dang.
There are lots of ways we could go with this. I would like to kind of take a formal swipe at the bottom, because here's the thing: 151. There's 151 Pokemon. It's a 64-team bracket. Mm-hmm. What I did today, you guys have gotten more specific than I have. I was going to do some Pokemon things, and then Kyle Long got signed, so I got busy.
Stupid dang Chiefs.
But what I have here,
is he the first? Is he like the basic form, or is he the evolution of Howie Long?
What I have here is my first sort of swipe through.
Jeff Long is the offshoot of evolution. You give him the friendship stone. But then it turns out they're actually not that good of friends. Anyway, you were saying. I'm done now.
I went through a checklist of the original 151, and here's what I have. I have 25 Pokemon that I think we will agree on, essentially.
In what regard?
Do not belong in the top 64. We've just got to thin the herd a little bit here. And I have 21 that I think are cold hard locks that I think we're probably okay on.
I think this is a good method because I believe we are uniquely qualified for this.
I think that's exactly right. In what regard? So I want to just because you guys have your 64 figured out already.
Yes, I have like 58.
But okay, that's great.
I was at 15. I was like, eh.
I want to run these past you guys because I also want to give them all a chance, basically for everybody to freak out on Twitter about, on Twitch about, and everything. As I say, I don't think that Metapod is a top 64 Pokemon. So here I'm gonna go through those first, and I want you. If you guys strongly disagree, tell me. Otherwise, we're gonna eject these 25 from the pool.
All right. Got weapons ready to go.
Do we have a hard and fast rule? Hard and fast Metapod. Do we have a hard and
Metapod's
fast?
not very fast.
Do we have a hard rule that you can only have up to 2 evolutions of a specific type?
That's what I believe that we did set a hardened rule of only 2 Pokemon in
the issue we are going to have
evolution.
We're going to have to answer questions about that on Twitter.
That's also how I did it.
If we don't, because we're not, no one's going to listen to this hour. This is just for us.
Yeah.
I would be down to revisit that potentially, but if we want to say we're gonna impose that on ourselves, I think that's reasonable.
Yes.
I did not go through ejecting any of the starters though. What I do have is Metapod. Any objection?
I've got Metapod in. Just for the Metapod to use hardened jokes.
The first one,
Yep.
Beards? The first
Listen,
one?
it's low. Let's see. I've got Metapod like in the 14 range.
Which of that evolution do you not have?
Do you have Metapod?
That's the
Guys,
only one that I have.
We cannot talk over each other over this hour. We have to be better about this. This is going to be a very conversational vibe, and I'm very happy for it. We cannot talk over each other. The only one you have from that evolution is Metapod?
Yes.
Rudy, what do you have from that evolution?
I have Butterfree.
I wanted to have Caterpie.
I mean, Butterfree's the best in that evolution. It's just not even close.
Caterpie's iconic though, also in the anime.
Butterfree is
Absolutely.
iconic.
Yes.
Like, Butterfree is more involved in the anime than Caterpie is.
It might be one of the first Pokemon you encounter.
Butterfree
That doesn't mean it's good.
And it makes everybody cry.
What does good mean, Beards? They're not fighting, you know that,
yes,
right?
This is not like a fighting
I know that.
contest.
Okay.
Here's the thing. Caterpie is better than Metapod, but Butterfree's the best.
Should we pick one from that evolution right now and just say one of them makes it?
No, let's keep going. See what else we got.
Here, let me
Kakuna.
No.
We can get rid of it? It's not on your list?
There has to be one of
come back.
Caterpie, Metapod, Butterfree in there, though, is what I would say. Because we all have one of the forms.
I think that's going to be true for most of the. I don't know if any species will go fully extinct here. Pidgeotto.
Can I ask a quick question, Josh? Do you have an extra pin on you?
What?
Do you have an extra pin on
I've
you by
got a whole
chance?
cup of pins over here.
Because I left mine in the
fact,
office.
that one actually purple. I could use that.
Oh, okay, that was good.
You want me to go over the top here?
Yeah, just to toss me. You know what? Give me something more of a marker-ish type thing.
This is a thick shard.
That is a thick boy. That
didn't make it
get
over the glass.
Thank you.
Here, try this. This looks exciting.
Ooh, thank you.
Pidgeotto's out. Yes? We're good with that middle evolution.
Middle evolution's out.
Well, you know what? While we're working through...
I saw an old sprite of Pidgeotto, and Pidgeotto was a thick boy back in the game, though.
Do we want to eject a second one of the Pidgey evolutions? I would also, in the similar vein...
I'd get rid of Pidgey.
In a similar vein to Caterpie, I think Pidgey is an absolutely iconic... You're going to encounter this thing early and often.
I think the Pidgeot's just the best, though.
Yeah.
Rudy, how do you feel?
I have Pidgeot.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm fine with not, like, throwing Pidgey out right away.
Okay, we're going to have to circle back through
But,
quickly. I've got Raticate out, Rattata staying in.
Ooh,
I have neither of them.
You have neither of them, Rudy?
Yeah, I had neither.
Again, for me, I think there's value to the first few Pokemon you're going to encounter being a lasting memory. Raticate's definitely out. We can circle back on Rattata. I don't need either Spearow or Fearow.
I've got Fearow in here somewhere, but it's not like... It's not instrumental in my bracket.
I don't hate Pharaoh. I only went 58. If I might throw in Pharaoh at like 64, but like I don't need it.
If we feel that way, I think we have to just say we're comfortable letting them go. Does that work for you guys?
That's fine.
Okay, because I think we're gonna have a lot. Ekans and Arbok.
I like Arbok.
I've got Arbok.
I like Ekans, but I think one of them should make it for sure.
Yeah, I think Arbok's better.
I didn't actually cross out either of them. I've just sort of changed the game that we're just working through.
Because it also
the
says
list.
like when it says its name, it says Charbok and not just Arbok. I like it.
Also, it's a big cobra.
You guys prefer Arbok over Ekans?
Yes.
Is Ekans out?
You want to know a cool thing about?
You don't have to actually.
You want to know a fun fact about Ekans and Arbok? Ekans spelled backwards is snake.
What?
Arbok spelled backwards is cobra.
No! Really?
Yeah.
Really?
They spelled Cobra wrong, but yes.
Cobra's with a K.
If we're doing middle evolutions, we can pick the Nidoran evolutions right now.
I have none of the Nidorans at all in
that's
there.
inexcusable.
So here's the thing. I didn't yet, and as before the hour or before the show started, I was even thinking, man, Nidoking's just pretty cool.
That's the only one I'd be willing to put in there.
But I also like both of the. I don't really care about the middles, but I like both the Nidoran female and male first form.
Here's what I think we do. I think if you guys are here with me on this,
I think I know where you're going. I was thinking the same thing.
First form female, third form male Nidoking make it into the brackets. The other 4 are out.
I don't hate it.
Fine.
Does that work for you guys?
That's fine.
I like Nidorina. Yeah, I skipped some that I skipped some that
yeah, got it. We're just going
am
to
not
the
passionate
definite
about.
outs. Gotcha.
But I think okay, we're cutting Nidoqueen.
Yes, we're keeping Nidoran blue female and Nidoking.
I think that works.
Yes.
I don't like that Nidoqueen has shell bra essentially. It seems unnecessary.
That's a good point.
We're gonna have a serious conversation about Jinx eventually. We're gonna have to get to that. That's okay. They're lower on the bracket.
I don't know if it's really a serious conversation.
We don't need to have that conversation.
Clearly out.
They're on a postseason ban.
They're at least on probation.
They are. Yes.
Well, that's fair. I like Clefairy more than Clefable. I think one should make it. I don't feel super strongly.
I have neither of them, so I don't care either way.
I put Clefable only because I caught a shiny one recently, but I actually think Clefairy's probably better.
Let's cross Clefable out.
But I think one should be there though. It's
I think that's true. I feel
and
the same
it's
way.
also it's something we didn't realize when we were kids playing this game. It's low key one of the strongest ones. Like Clefable is a boss.
I'm taking the very similar tactic on Jigglypuff Wigglytuff. Jigglypuff also in Smash. I have Jigglypuff making it and Wigglytuff out.
I have Jigglypuff.
Yeah.
Wigglytuff out for you guys?
Yeah. Jigglypuff is just
nobody
so much
likes
more
Wigglytuff.
iconic. And it's Jigglypuff riding on markers on people.
Exactly.
I'm in the same.
Jigglypuff was in the Post Malone concert.
Yeah, Jigglypuff's definitely in.
Yeah. We eat Jigglypuffs around
We want to eat a Jigglypuff. That's true. Do we want to highlight the definite ins at this point?
Let's just knock these things out.
I think that's a good call.
Yeah.
I feel Golbat I think can go. I think Zubat I'm questionable about, but
so my thing is
we circle back on Zubat as a 16 seed later.
So that's my thing. Like Zubat as a 16 it's kind of feels right because we hate it so much.
That's
but
what
also,
I did.
but also, is it legitimately one of the 64 best?
I put it in the 64 slot.
Breaking news! Breaking news!
Like
Jeremy Fowler behind the Trent Williams deal. Chiefs were incredibly close in the early hours of the morning. Nearly got it done, even at those massive numbers. Niners put it over the top.
That's kind of what I figured.
Yeah, that's not super surprising. The fact that they were in all the way to the end, they're gonna sign a veteran. They're gonna sign a veteran left tackle. There's no way they're going. I don't think that's an accident.
Continuing on.
Yeah, in terms of best 64, I honestly don't think Zubat should be on there. But in terms of just of how annoying it is,
out, right?
yeah. Nobody gives a bleep about Golbat.
What about the oddish evolutions? We got to pick at least one.
Do we?
At least one's got to go.
Oh,
no,
I didn't have any of them.
There's 3 evolutions.
Yeah, I didn't have any.
Any of them can go. All of them can go.
You don't have any of them making it?
None of them just really do much for me.
Okay, I'm out on Vileplume for sure. I kind of like Gloom. I think Oddish or Gloom should be in, though. I think Oddish probably should be in. But I'm also biased towards first evolutions on a lot of these.
Yeah, I don't know.
Do you want to eliminate Gloom?
None of them really did anything for
Gloom
me.
is somebody's favorite Pokemon for sure, and we're gonna have to kill some darlings.
There are a lot of the ones in here that I just kind of looked at and I have no interest in you being here, and those are definitely one of the evolutions that I just glossed over.
I don't hate it.
Let's go ahead and let Gloom and Vileplume go, and let's leave Oddish alive for now. Does that work?
That's fine. Yeah. They can be the play-ins. We'll see.
Paris and Parasect. I could gloss over both of them.
Same.
Yeah, I didn't have either.
Sorry, guys. I would make an argument for Venonat. I do not care about Venomoth.
I would go the opposite way, but I don't have either of them in.
Rudy?
It's kind of like the Parasect thing to me.
I'm leaving Venonat on my sheet for now. Venomoth is out. We can circle back, though.
Mm-hmm.
Diglett, Dugtrio. Diglett is iconic. Dugtrio is just 3 of them. I don't really get it.
I have Dugtrio in mind.
See, I have Dugtrio because it's 3 of them,
yes,
which is just funny.
Yes.
It's just funny to me.
Over Diglett?
Yes.
Do we want to kill Diglett then? Is Diglett out, or do you want to keep a chance for both of them?
I think they can both be there.
Sure, we can keep them both for now.
Meowth, Persian.
I have Meowth because it's iconic.
Meowth's got to be in.
I don't really care,
about
Persian.
Okay, I thought I was going to get some pushback on that.
Nobody cares
for
about
some
Persian.
reason. I don't really care about Persian either.
Except for
I
Giovanni.
feel very. That's why I thought it was going to. I thought Giovanni was going to force Persian in.
But Meowth talks. Well, one Meowth talks.
I feel the exact same way about Psyduck, Golduck.
Yeah,
Psyduck is
Psyduck.
S tier. Golduck, I could give a bleep about.
Yeah.
Golduck's out. Mankey Primeape.
I thought about it. If one of them's in, I don't hate it, but I couldn't convince myself to put it down.
I have got, let's see, Primeape is in here. It's low.
Yeah.
I would give the edge to Mankey,
there,
but I don't
won't
really
hate it, but that's the one that I went with.
Do you want to eliminate Mankey then?
Sure.
Kill some darlings. I would go the other way, but that's fine. We're a committee. Growlithe, Arcanine, I feel like both of them should be alive right now, right?
Both, yes.
Okay.
They're good boys.
Poliwag, Poliwhirl, Poliwrath.
So I have
a hot take on this.
I like I had Poliwag because I like Poliwag. Poliwhirl's a little weird to me.
Oh, Poliwhirl's my favorite.
And but Whirl and Wrath don't do a ton for me, but I like Wag. But I think
Wrath,
one of them.
I'm out on.
I have Wrath.
Oh my god! We have different favorites of the same evolution tree.
I probably Wrath decently high.
So we'll keep them all three for now.
We got to knock out one of them. One of them cannot
knock
be
out Whirl.
Do we have to knock out one right now?
One of them's got to go. Yeah, because it's a three evolution.
Oh yeah, true.
I'd say get rid of Whirl.
That's fine. I'm okay with that. That one's mine, and I'll let it go. I'm gonna cash in that goodwill later.
Yeah, because we in theory we all should have like no, this is mine.
Abracadabra and Alakazam, which I've never had to say that way before, and it really made me happy.
I think Kadabra is the worst of the group.
I agree. Beards.
I have Alakazam. I don't have Abra, but I don't hate having Abra.
I had Kadabra in mind just because I got annoyed with so many Abras disappearing when trying to catch them. I can flip those. That's fine. I have Alakazam decently high.
Alakazam is just
Okay, let's let Kadabra go.
Well. That's fine.
Middle evolutions are going to have a hard time because they're not the first thing you see nor the last thing you see. It's going to be a tough one.
It's rarely it's almost never what you catch and it's never what you end up at.
Machop, Machoke, Machamp, same deal. I can let the middle one go. Middle one's just a buff dude.
I am Machamp.
Same.
I don't need Machop or Machoke, honestly.
Right. Yes.
Like I'm fine with that just being one from there.
We're making pretty good time. I'm going to leave Machop for now alive and let Machoke go. Bellsprout, Weepin' Bell, Victory Bell.
I have none of them.
I don't have any of them, but I like Victory Bell, so I'm fine with Victory Bell being in there. But,
I was Whoopin' Bell freaks me out.
Weeping Bell?
What did I say? Yep, that's what I meant. Weepin' Bell freaks me out. Victory Bell can go. I have Bellsprout still alive in mine. I think we should let one of them.
That's fine. I'm fine with I don't have any of them, so I'm fine with like leaving Bellsprout.
Okay, let's let Weepin' and Victory Bell both go.
Okay.
This is one where I feel like I'm going to be able to agree with Beards. This is one of the rare instances where I like the evolution better than the original. Tentacruel, I think, is good. Tentacool, I think, is kind of lame.
I have Tentacruel.
I don't have either, but I like Tentacruel.
I figured that would be safe. You ready for a hot take from me?
Go for it.
I think we might be on the same one here. We might have the same thought.
Geodude kicks ass. Graveler and Golem both stink.
So I don't have Geodude on my 58, but if I went to 64, he would have been on there. I didn't go all the way. I just didn't go all the way to 64, so I just stopped. If I continued, I would have put Geodude on there.
Graveler and
Golem do nothing for me.
Golem does nothing for me.
I like him.
I'm the same. Golem just does. Now, Alolan Golem, because it has a mustache.
Yes.
Great.
But we're not doing a lot
regular
for him.
Golem. Yeah. It just doesn't do a lot for me.
Beards, are you willing to let go of Golem, or is it going to be in it? Maybe it's a bubble.
Is that high
it's a
on your
bubble team.
list?
It can be a bubble team. How high is Golem on your list?
8.
An 8 seed or 8 overall?
Oh, okay. 8 seed. I was going to say 8 overall. I was like, woof.
It can be a bubble team, but I think that one's probably going to meet its demise, if I had to guess. Ponyta, Rapidash.
This was like a Growlithe Arcanine thing for me. I
That's
felt
fine.
like they both had to be there.
I feel that way about Slowpoke, Slowbro. I don't really want to let either of them go yet.
Same. I have both Slowpoke and Slowbro.
Beards?
I have both Slowpoke and Slowbro.
Well, we have an agreement on something.
They're great boys.
They're great. Magnemite, Magneton, I am relatively lukewarm on both.
Yeah.
I have Magnemite.
I would agree that one should pass.
Yes. Out of those two, it's the better one.
Farfetch'd.
Absolutely.
Good Pokemon.
It's a good joke.
Good Pokemon.
Not a joke, just a good Pokemon, Beards.
Duduo and
Dodrio.
And Dodrio. Thank you.
I think I had Doduo on there just because it's like a dorky looking bird.
Let's let Trio out right now.
It is so,
Trio can go. Trio can go home.
Yeah, Doduo is like in my 50s, like overall.
I think it might be a low seed, but I'm
it's just very dorky looking, which kind of like is why I had it.
Yeah, I agree. Seal, Dudong. I've never had to say many of these I've never had to say out loud before.
Dugong.
I don't have either.
Neither.
Let's keep Seal alive just for the moment. I'm not pushing super hard on that front, but I want to just keep that there because I don't want to accidentally end up overcutting here. I like Muck in the Alolan form. Regular one doesn't do anything for me. Grimer, I feel like, is a pretty solid, iconic, goopy, weird Pokemon. I would let Muck go here. How do you feel, Beards?
I have Muck.
Over Grimer?
Yeah, I'm trying to. Oh, it's the 12 seed. I'm either way.
Rudy, how you want to break the tie on that one?
Yeah, let's go with Grimer.
Okay, so Muck is out. Shelder and Cloyster. Cloyster is weirdly phallic. 1 seed.
It's a pearl. It's a black pearl.
I'm pretty flexible on both of these. I can't decide how I feel about them. I kind of like the shell Pokemon thing.
If one's gonna be, if we keep one, I think it should be Cloyster because it's got a jagged shell. Pretty cool.
I kind of like Shelter. I'm not gonna cut either of them yet. Ghastly Haunter Gengar might be low key one of the best evolutions in Gen 1.
I only have Gengar just for space reasons, but
Gengar is gonna hang around for a while.
Yes. It's a very good evolution.
I think I prefer Haunter to Ghastly, and I think that might be...
I don't know which way I would go on that. I like them all.
I think that might be a Ghastly thing to say, but I think I would let... if I have to cut one right now, I think it would be Ghastly. Without our rule...
That's okay with me.
Without our rule, I think it much like some of the starters we'll get back to, I think all 3 of them would have a spot in the top 64, but I'll let Ghastly go.
That's fine.
I think keeping a second evolution as well might be good. We don't have a lot of them.
Onyx, good.
Yeah, Onyx is iconic.
I like Drowsy. I don't like Hypno very much.
I don't care for either.
Rudy?
I prefer Drowsy Hypno, but I don't have either on my list.
Let's let Hypno go. Krabby, what we can do is during the break, we can do some math and figure out where we've ended up here. But let's get to the end of this segment. Krabby, Kingler.
I have Kingler. Kingler, I think, is a low-key. I think they're both a pretty good evolution form. I like Kingler.
They're decent for me.
Yeah.
I just didn't end up adding them in. I would prefer Kingler if we did.
I'm fine with that. Yep,
whatever.
Krabby's out. Voltorb, Electrode.
Electrode is the better. I forgot. I don't have these on there, but Electrode's a little smile, right? I like it. I like the look of it.
I had Voltorb. I'm flexible on that one. Where'd my pen go?
Voltorb doesn't have a mouth. Electrode has a toothy smile. I'm gonna go with Rudy on this one.
Okay, that's fine.
Execute. I don't know how to say the tree one. I want to call it Executor.
Executor. That's what it is. It is Executor.
Oh well, all right. Look at me.
I have neither.
I kind of like both a little bit.
I have Executor, but it's not necessarily super high.
Which one do we want to cut? We got to cut one of them. Honestly, I kind of like them both. If I'm being honest,
I'd cut the second one.
They can both stay for now.
I kind of like I like a sentient coconut palm tree with an
keep them both for now.
I'm happy to. Cubone is a good Pokemon.
Yes.
I have Cubone, no Marowak.
That's where I'm at.
Yep.
Okay. Hitmonlee, Hitmonchan.
I went with Chan. I don't know if I have. Oh no, I do have Lee. I'm Hitmonlee made the. I have Chan higher because I grew up in the Jackie Chan era, so it was just like.
Lickitung, good Pokemon. Coughing, Wheezing.
I like Wheezing.
I've got Wheezing.
Coughing can go. I'm okay with that. Rhyhorn, Rhydon.
I have Rhydon, but honestly,
I prefer Rhydon.
I don't know if I love either of them that
I
much.
have Rhydon.
Let's let Rhyhorn
I remember
go.
having a Rhydon that was pretty dope.
Let's let Rhyhorn go.
Oh
Let's
yeah,
do
very very strong in Gen 1, but
Yes.
it's just like the more I look back on him, I'm just like, meh.
Chansey.
He's a cool dinosaur with a spinny nose.
Chansey and Tangela, not evolutions obviously, but right back to back here.
I have Tangle at the end, but that's that is some Brian David Gilbert bias because his favorite Pokemon was Terry the Tangela.
I like the Tangela, and I'm okay with Chansey.
I have neither.
I mean, Chansey's iconic. Chansey's the one that heals all your Pokemon.
That's fine.
Let's keep Kangaskhan. I feel like is in a similar category. One off there. I like Kangaskhan.
I like Kangaskhan pretty
I also
high.
like the joke. It's Genghis Khan.
Oh. I don't get it.
Horsey, Seadra.
I would go Seadra, but I don't have either.
I have Seadra in mind.
Let's let Horsey go. Let's keep Seadra around. And then Goldeen, Sea King. I could let both of them
I
go.
had neither.
Same.
Yeah.
Gone. Staryu and Starmie, I feel relatively similarly about.
Yeah, I'm fine with Starmie being in, but I didn't have either.
I have Starmie in, but that's only because there was a series that I was watching that was basically a guy rewatching the original anime episode by episode and him realizing that Starmie is actually pretty worthless. So I have it in there just because of that joke.
Staryu's out. We keep Starmie kicking. Mr. Mime.
Mr. Mime is dope.
It's in.
Okay.
Yeah.
Scyther is in.
Yes.
Scyther's good.
Yes.
Jinx is
probation.
NCAA violation.
Jinx got the death penalty.
NCAA violation for Jinx.
A lot of scholarships.
Really problematic.
Yeah.
Electabuzz and Magmar, I think, are both pretty good. They're a little derivative of each other.
Yeah.
I have them both in.
Okay.
Not high, but I have them
I don't
both.
have Electabuzz, but I have Magmar because it's a fiery platypus.
Good call. Pinsir and Tauros.
I have Pinsir, no Tauros.
I have both.
Let's just let them ride for now.
Okay.
Magikarp and Gyarados, both iconic.
I have Gyarados, but I didn't have Magikarp, but
you gotta have Magikarp. I gotta have Magikarp for sure.
I don't have Magikarp. I have Gyarados. I'm fine to add Magikarp. I just prefer Gyarados.
I just kind of forgot about Magikarp.
Lapras.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ditto.
Yes.
Eevee.
No.
See, Eevee's gonna be a high one, Beards. That's a high.
That was.
Eevee's gonna be a high.
You don't have Eevee seeded at all.
Because
Eevee's gonna be a high
its higher evolutions are better.
Beards. Eevee's gonna be a high seed.
The higher evolutions are
Eevee
better.
has been promoted to a starter
But
Pokemon.
Eevee-
Beards.
Eevee can become any
seed.
of those.
Cool. That means the other ones are better.
Eevee's a high seed.
This is the controversial one. I knew that would be there.
is the higher seed.
But
than
here's
Vaporeon, Jolteon,
I
and
have
Flareon.
I have Vaporeon and Flareon. I prefer those two, and we're only doing two. Those are the two that I like.
So no, I don't think we were doing just two with this.
I
with
don't
Eevee.
know.
With Eevee because it's not a 3 evolution Pokemon. Eevee is 3 separate 2 evolutions.
But these are the two that
So
I
it's
have.
Eevee and Vaporeon, it's Eevee and Jolteon. But that's what I mean. I don't think you're limited to just 2 of them.
We're gonna have to cut down the Eevee tree. I don't think we can have all 4
No,
Eevees probably.
we
right?
cannot have all 4.
I think the math's gonna get tight. Let's come back. Let's leave them for now. Porygon.
Meh.
Kind of meh, right?
Meh.
Yeah. It's a digital duck, but meh.
You want to let it go?
Yes.
You want to let Porygon go into the great beyond? Ammonite, Amistar. I think this is one of those instances where the original version is better.
I actually don't have either.
I have neither.
I'm keeping Ammonite for now.
That's fine.
Kabuto, Kabutops.
I have Kabutops.
I have Kabutops.
Not Kabuto, though.
No.
Not Kabuto.
Fine with that. Aerodactyl. Yes.
I have Aerodactyl.
I actually
Snorlax.
don't.
That's stunning
Which
to me.
is fine.
Stunning. Snorlax.
Yes.
Yes. Legendary birds.
I have all 3.
I have all 3. I think I have all 3 seated too high.
I have them kind of spread out.
Yeah, I have them spread it out pretty well. I think Articuno is the best personally.
Yes.
But
Let's leave all 3. We got to let a Dragonite evolution go. Dratini, Dragonair, Dragonite.
I think Dragonair is the clear out.
I think that's
Same.
correct.
Yeah.
And then Mew and Mewtwo.
Yep.
Not in that order. Do you want to go back to let's do the starters here, and then I'll do the math in the break and figure out how many we're down.
Okay.
It's going to be hard, I think, for any of the starters to end up in a place that's not just 1-3.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the only place they go, though.
I prefer Ivysaur.
So I was going to
over...
say, I think Ivysaur is the best middle.
I think Ivysaur might be my favorite Bulbasaur evolution.
It's just Bulbasaur and Venusaur are also just so good for me.
Yes.
But Wartortle, I also like Wartortle a lot.
But the other two are just so much better.
Yeah.
So Charmeleon and Wartortle definitely out, yeah?
Yep.
Unfortunately. I think they're both top 64 Pokemon, but we've got a rule.
Yes. I would agree with that.
Bulbasaur's obviously in. I would personally rank Ivysaur over Venusaur, but I understand if that's not where the committee wants to go here. It'd be very controversial.
It's just hard not to go.
I'd have Venusaur.
Okay, that's fine with me. We also need to make our ruling here on Caterpie Metapod Butterfree.
I think it's Butterfree.
I would still go Metapod.
But you want to go Metapod for a dumb joke.
Exactly.
Not because it's one of the actually 64 best Pokemon.
Metapod's out. Rudy and I have crushed it under our boot. Caterpie will probably... we'll see where Caterpie and Butterfree end up. We need to take a break. We'll do that now. I think... I did skip a couple early on there. Sorry, Beards. You can fade the music back up?
Pikachu, Raichu, Sandshrew, Sandslash. I don't have Raichu on my list.
I don't either.
Okay, Raichu out. I would also let Sandslash go.
I have Sandshrew. I don't have Sandslash.
I have neither.
Sandslash is out.
Sandshrew is just a little armadillo.
All right, we're going to take a break. The committee's going to do some math. If we have any extra things to change in the break, we'll let you know whenever we come back.
Want more Almost Entirely Sports? Watch the show live on the Sports Radio 810 Facebook page.
Warm weather is here. Spring has arrived. It's time to get that lawn back into shape. Do you want the best looking lawn, but you don't want to have any harmful chemicals? Well, then go to GetSunday.com. That's right, GetSunday.com. You go there, you put in your home address, and their free lawn analysis tool takes care of the rest, all in just seconds. Sunday uses soil and climate data to create a tailored nutrient plan. So you get all the stuff your lawn needs and nothing it doesn't. Sunday is made with ingredients that you can actually pronounce, like seaweed, iron, and molasses so you can grow better and feel better about it. Sunday explains exactly what you need, and everything is waiting right at your door exactly when you need it. All I had to do was attach the ready-to-use pouch to a garden hose and spray. It's just that easy. Let Sunday take the guesswork out of growing a greener, more beautiful lawn this spring. Visit getsunday.com/Petro to get $20 off your custom lawn plan at checkout. That's $20 off your custom plan at getsunday.com/Petro. getsunday.com/Petro.
There's nothing like the sounds of your son learning to dribble, or the sounds of your daughter learning to tap dance. A local family-owned hardwood flooring specialist company wants to help you remember these sounds for the rest of your life with a quality wood floor. Acme Floor has been in business for almost 100 years and is so entrusted with its workmanship and quality of materials that KU and MU called them to build their wood basketball courts. You may not be looking for a basketball court, but Acme Floor can help you create the sounds and look you want in your home. From the floor at the Nelson Atkins Block Building, UMKC Swinney Rec, the stages at the Kauffman Center, to your kitchen. No project is too big and no budget is too small. If you're looking at laying a new floor, refinish or resurface your hardwood floors, why not call the best? Give Acme Floor Company a call at 913-888-3200. Acme Floor Company works with both residential and commercial customers. Go by their Lenexa showroom at 10100 Marshall Drive. 4-generation family owned and operated.
If you drive a car, truck, SUV, or vehicle of any kind, you need Get Upside, the free gas app that pays you cash back for every gallon of gas you buy. That's right. With the free Get Upside gas app, you can get up to 25 cents a gallon cash back every time you buy gas. Nearly 3 million people have earned cash back with Get Upside just for buying gas.
I always use Get Upside. Some months I make $200 to $300.
I love getting money back for things I use every day. It's just free money for buying gas.
There's no catch. It's simple. And you get your cash back right away.
Download the free Get Upside app now in the App Store or Google Play to save up to 25 cents a gallon when you buy gas. Use promo code OIL for a 50-cent per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's up to 75 cents a gallon on your next fill-up. You can cash out anytime to PayPal or an e-gift card for Amazon and other brands. Earn cash back on gas on every fill-up. Just download the free Get Upside app and use promo code OIL for a 50-cent per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code OIL.
Listen to all 67 games this March, including Kansas versus Eastern Washington.
Number 3 seed in the West region, the Kansas Jayhawks.
Oklahoma versus Missouri.
Oklahoma, Coach Kruger's done it for a long time at a high level.
And Wichita State versus Drake. Plus live coverage and interviews with KU, MU, and everyone that matters. Kansas City's home for the NCAA tournament. Sports Radio 810 WHB.
It's been called incredible, a car lover's definition of nirvana. The Aristocrat Motors pre-owned department. Choose from over 150 cars, sports cars, SUVs, and trucks. Enjoy the finest, most professional buying experience in the city. Aristocrat Motors has the car that will work for you and the car that will fit your needs. From Alfa Romeo to Volkswagen, they're your home for quality. Aristocrat Motors, I-35 and Shawnee Mission Parkway, or online at aristocratmotors.com.
This is Almost Entirely Sports with Joshua Brisco.
Because, like, who's a
Give me a Bill Self Pokemon.
A Bill Self Pokemon. Let's see. Got to think of a big guy, preferably kind of like a low post kind of player. Onyx?
Which one's Onyx?
It's the big rock snake.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay, so I'm doing it more by visual. What's the evolution of the little yellow armadillo-looking dude?
Oh, Sand Slash, I think is the last one. Gosh, I'm such a nerd.
On Sports Radio 810 WHB.
We've been doing some very difficult math during the break. We've said goodbye to a few more fan favorites. Sorry, everybody.
People are not happy about the Porygon choices. They say the lack of inclusion is a crime, except that Porygon gave kids seizures, so that feels like a crime.
We in that segment we got rid of 52. During the break we went through 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 more that we had considered getting rid of earlier. 13 plus 52 is 65. What do we need to get down to here? More than that.
To be either at 64 or 68, depending on if we're doing a playing game or not.
60. We need to get to 64.
Yes.
But that's
68's the play-in. If you do
no,
the play,
we're not doing a play-in
yeah,
game.
but that's what I'm saying. I didn't know. That's why I was saying. If
no,
we're going
I'm
to just
saying
normal,
how many do we need to get rid of?
Oh, get rid of
87. 87. We're bleeped, guys. We're boned. This is not 87.
Let's go.
Execute is gone.
That's fine.
Holy bleep, man. Do you want to say Shelter or Cloister here?
I would keep Cloister.
I would too.
Shelter's gone.
The thing is, though, we're not going to be able to keep one of obviously of every evolution.
No.
Family. Like some are just good. Some are just.
We've definitely lost a decent number already. I feel like there's been a bloodbath.
Like I would take off Rattata.
Same. All of those can go.
It's.
Does Pidgeot need to be there?
I think so.
I would take off Zubat because again, I just don't think it's anywhere near the top 64.
I think Zubat belongs. I think we need Zubat in the field.
I think you keep it just because of its annoyingness. Like it's the 64 seed.
What about Hitmonlee and Hitmonchan? I could honestly let both of them go.
I'd keep Lee.
I would keep Chan if I had to.
What did Rudy say?
I said I'd keep Chan.
Okay, that's fine.
What if we were to let them both go? We can keep Chan. I've kept Chan.
I have them both low.
All right, Lee's gone.
So.
I have both of them, but we can keep Chan.
I have them both very low, so I'm not.
Starmie's got to go. Sorry, Beards.
Nah, that's okay.
Starmie's out. Your joke was good.
That's fine.
I didn't really get it, but
That's
it's
okay.
gone. Oh man, dude.
When it comes to Electabuzz and Tauros,
I would keep Tauros over
have
Electabuzz.
no- I mean, I would get rid of them both. Is what
I
I'm
like
saying.
Tauros. I've got Tauros decently
They're
high.
both just
We're at
meh.
57. We have to get rid of 30 more.
Okay.
30! Holy bleep. We're bleeped. I would honestly let Tauros go.
I've got him as like a 6 seed. 7 seed.
It's just a bull with three tails.
Tauros is not
it's
on
a
mine.
Buffalo bull. It's cool.
It's not even the best Buffalo like in the Pokemon family. Buffalan's better.
All right, let's reverse engineer some things. Who are our 4 number 1 seeds?
I have got Charizard, Pikachu, Mewtwo, and Gyarados.
I have
as my 4.
Charizard, Pikachu, Mewtwo, and I went with Squirtle.
Charizard and Pikachu are unanimous 1
Yes.
seeds, right?
I think Mewtwo is as well.
Yes.
I think those 3 are pretty.
Charizard is a 1.
Charizard's probably 1-1.
I would put Charizard 1-1.
Charizard,
Pikachu,
Mewtwo. I would not have Mewtwo that high, but that's fine.
Who are yours?
I don't know yet.
Good exercise.
I like Squirtle very high. What was your 4th, Beards?
Gyarados.
Mine was Squirtle. I was a big fan of the Squirtle squad.
I like Squirtle in that spot. I'm cool with Gyarados, whatever, being a high 2. You want to do our 2 seeds? Let's go Charizard, Pikachu, Mewtwo, Squirtle.
Who's our other 1 seed?
Squirtle.
And?
Mewtwo.
Okay.
Charizard, Pikachu, Mewtwo, Squirtle.
That's fine.
2 seeds. I'm cool with Gyarados as a 2. How do you feel about that, Rudy? I don't love it, but it's fine.
I didn't have it as a 2, but that's fine.
Me neither, but that's fine. Who are your guys as 2 seeds?
Mine was Bulbasaur, Dragonite, Mew, and I had Eevee.
Bulbasaur is a 2, I think is fair. I think Bulbasaur and Charmander should both be on 2 lines.
I put Charmander 3, I think, just because I had Charizard at 1
I had
and
Charmander
Bulbasaur 2.
4.
So but I'm fine with it being on the 2. I don't have like
a 4.
I had it as my top 3
Bulbasaur
seed.
with a 3.
What are your 2s, Beards?
I had Gengar, Snorlax, Blastoise, and Jigglypuff. You heard me.
Say those again?
Gengar, Snorlax, Blastoise, Jigglypuff.
Oh my god, this is not gonna happen for us tonight, is it?
Probably not.
I think if we can lock in our top 4 seeds, then we can fill out the rest off air and people will understand. I think Bulbasaur and Charmander as original starters, should probably be on 2 lines.
I'm fine with it. I don't have a problem. Again, I had Bulbasaur on 2 lines. The only reason why I had Charmander on the 3 was just because of the spreading them out, basically.
Right. I don't think you necessarily need to have
But
starters
I'm
that high
fine.
just because they're the starters.
But I'm also fine with Charmander being on the 2. Like, I'm not here to fight.
Charmander should be a 2, though, right? Where do you have Charmander, Beards?
4.
Crazy.
Again, I'm fine with them being on the 2. I'm not fighting.
I have Bulbasaur and Squirtle both 3s. So
who are your 2s, Rudy?
Bulbasaur, Dragonite, Mew, and Eevee. It's Eevee, I know. I'm just being dumb.
Beards, we're gonna need to find a place to. Why don't we just pick one of everybody's 2 seeds and just fill out the, because we gave you Gyarados.
Okay.
Pick your favorite of your 2 seeds, Beards.
Gengar.
Rudy.
I have Bulbasaur.
I made you guys do that without having my answer.
Second time you've done that.
I think I would lean towards Charmander there. I know we are.
That's fine.
We're cramming
Again,
the.
I don't have a problem with it.
Okay. Charmander's off the board.
Sometimes
off the board.
you know, the starters are just like
Gyarados
the Big
off the
Ten, and you
board.
got a bunch of ones.
You
and
just
2s.
got some high
That
seeds
happens
there.
sometimes.
Gengar's a 2. All right, where are you guys at with your? Give me your favorite 3 seed or maybe a 2 seed that we had to just pass over.
I would probably go with Dragonite.
Beards, how do you feel about Dragonite as a 3?
That's fine. I had it as a 4, but that's
Let's
fine.
make it a 3.
We can do that.
Just a big old dragon.
Beards, who's your favorite of your 3 seeds or a floating 2 seed?
Let's go Snorlax.
Rudy, how do you feel about Snorlax as a 3 seed?
Yeah, that's good.
I like it. I think that's a good
That
call.
works,
Give me another one. Beards, give me your next 3 seed that you like.
Blastoise.
Rudy, how do you feel about Blastoise as a 3?
I mean, I have him as a 4, but no problem. That's close enough. I got no
This
problem.
is where I'm at now, where I'm going to have you guys just give me some who you want next in your seeding list, and then I'm going to just either stamp it or I'm going to thumbs up or thumbs down.
Yeah, I'm
and that's how
trying
we're
to
going to
find.
move through.
Why can't I find Snorlax now? Because I'm trying to like cross
Towards the
things
bottom-
off. Yeah,
bottom
there
row.
it is. Wow, I was just like, I know you're here. Why
Who gave
can't I-
me Dragonite was Rudy, Snorlax was Beards.
Yep.
Blastoise was Beards.
Yes.
Rudy, what's your next 3 seed?
My next 3 seed. I would go with Mew.
Beards, how do you feel about it?
I had Mew way lower than that.
Mew can learn every move out there, and every Pokemon's DNA comes from Mew.
I had Mew as a 13.
Like it's
Who's
literally the foundation.
Who will be your next 3 seed choice, Rudy?
Eevee.
Beards, pick one. Eevee or Mew's a 3 seed?
Mew is literally the basis.
Mew's a 3.
All of Pokemon. It is
4
is
seeds.
It is the god of Pokemon.
Would Eevee be your next? Would be a 4? Your first 4 seed up?
Yeah,
Rudy?
I think Eevee should be high.
I think Rudy is right on this. I think Eevee should be a 4.
We haven't gotten to Jigglypuff yet. I'll put Jigglypuff up there.
Ooh, I think Jigglypuff. Yeah, I'm good with that.
Also, part of it's just like the anime comedicness of it.
No, I think Jigglypuff should be high. I'm saying we may have accidentally dropped Jigglypuff a drop too low there, but I'm comfortable with that.
We can fine-tune this later.
No, we can't. This is final. What's your next 4 seed for me, Beards? Who's your highest remaining seed, basically?
We already did Squirtle, didn't we?
Squirtle's a 1, yep.
Okay, go Arcanine.
That would have been my next one.
Really?
Yeah,
Arcanine Beards are pretty. Now, ultimately, Arcanine was like a 4 seed for me, or
We're in
3 seed for
4s.
me. But yeah,
Give me your next 4.
my next highest is Venusaur.
Do we not place Venusaur yet?
Not place Venusaur yet.
That feels right, actually. The lowest of that. I'm good with that. Beards, are you okay with that?
That's fine. I did it as a 5, but that works.
Perfect. Close enough. We're in the 5s now. Beards, pick your. Are you crossing stuff off as you go?
Yes.
Okay, excellent.
Yeah, I've got a highlighter.
Give me your 5.
What we've done. Go Psyduck.
Oh my God, Psyduck as a 5 seed is gonna be a tough out. I love Psyduck.
Psyduck's good.
Psyduck,
I had it as a 3, so this.
I would legit put Psyduck as a.
I
think
had
it would be a
7,
low 1 for
so
me.
like that
As
that works
as
out.
a 7? You had Psyduck as a 7?
Or no, 6.
I don't know. Boy, yeah. I think Psyduck's understated, but I'm fine with it. We're here. Give me your next one, Beards. Rudy, you'll have 2 back-to-back.
That's fun.
I'm debating between Poliwrath and Alakazam. Let's just go Alakazam. I think that one will be less resistance.
That's true. Are you okay with that, Rudy?
Yeah,
I don't love it, but it's
I
fine.
don't have a huge problem. I would have had Alakazam a little lower, but
Same.
You know, not drastic.
All right, give me your highest 2.
Next is a Scyther. Love Scyther.
Ooh,
I'm okay with that.
that's high.
It is high.
That's higher than what I had it, but that's fine.
Yeah,
That's fine.
I
I
like
just got to
Scyther.
find it now. Oh, there it is.
Who's next for you, Rudy?
And then I have a Rapidash.
Where did I have Rapidash?
I don't need Rapidash to be next. It's just my next highest one available. I've also got then from there, I've got a Lapras.
What are we in?
It's 5 seed, last 5 seed.
I've got Lapras, Kangaskhan, Articuno, and Vaporeon right around Rapidash.
I would go Articuno or Kangaskhan here.
I'd go Articuno.
Let's do it.
I feel like one of the legendary birds has to be in the top 5 seeds.
Agreed. We're in the 6s here. Rudy, why don't you go?
Max Sween, we have done Gyarados.
Where did Gyarados end up? It's
have
a 2
not,
seed.
Yeah,
it's a 2
Gyarados
seed.
is 2 seed.
What were your highest remaining ones here, Rudy?
So I've got Rapidash, Vaporeon, Lapras.
Let's go Vaporeon, Rapidash as 6 seeds. How do you guys feel about that? Vaporeon's going on.
I think Rapidash is very high in popularity.
I'd put
Vaporeon's in pin already, so if you're gonna push me on that one, it's already written down.
That's
Sorry.
fine.
I think Vaporeon's the best of the EV evolution.
I would have put Flareon as highest, but that's fine.
Do you want to put Vaporeon and
you only like fire.
You want to put Vaporeon and Flareon both on the 6 line?
No.
They won't face each other.
Yeah, they'd be in.
How about
different
Rapidash
brackets.
is a 6? Rapidash is a 6. Rapidash is a 6. Going once, going twice.
Nah,
Rapidash
I'd
is a
go
6.
lower than that.
I would too, but Rudy, what's your next? Kangaskhan. Kangaskhan is a 6.
I like
Kangaskhan's a 6. It's official. It's Kangaskhan's a 6.
Where the heck did I put Vaporeon?
Kangaskhan's a 6.
Sure.
Beards, I need your next 2 highest seeds.
Poliwrath and Slowpoke.
Oh, Slowpoke's underseeded, but it's a 6. Slowpoke is
Slowpoke's probably about right.
Slowpoke is underseeded. What was your other
What
one?
was the other one?
Poliwrath.
Yeah, Poliwrath, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not a big Poliwrath
fine.
guy, but it's fine. I got Rapidash. Beards gets Poliwrath.
Sure.
You did not get Rapidash.
Eventually, I'm going to get Rapidash.
Rapidash.
Beards
You can have Rapidash now.
We did add Vaporeon.
Yes.
I mostly
Rapidash is also a 7 now for you, Rudy. What's your next 7? What do you want as a 7? Talk to me about a 7.
Lapras is great. I don't know why we're sleeping on Lapras here.
Lapras is fine.
Like, Lapras is a great Pokemon.
Okay, Lapras is there. Beards, I'm cutting you in line here because Cubone has fallen too far.
That's fine. I was going to have Cubone as a 5.
Cubone has fallen absolutely too far. Cubone is a 7.
I like Cubone as an 8.
Beards. Oh, Farfetch'd has also fallen pretty far for me.
I had Farfetch'd as a 7.
I had Farfetch'd as a 7. I've got some above it.
How about Meowth?
Meowth pretty low.
Growlithe.
Growlithe is like probably.
I'm ready for Geodude as well at this point.
I
just so you guys
Growlithe
know.
is like an 11, I think.
I'd go Geodude or Onix.
Let's go Geodude.
Okay.
Sorry. So what seed is this?
That was the last 7.
Last 7. Yeah, that's fine. I'm not. None of the Geodude evolutions.
You want to go Onix as an 8? Let's get through our 8 seeds here. Then we'll take a break halfway through our seeding process.
Onix works.
Onix work for you, Rudy?
Yeah,
an
yeah,
8 seed?
Yeah, that feels right.
Have we already done Venusaur?
Onix, yeah, we have.
Yes,
Onix.
Venusaur,
we did?
Venusaur is a 4 seed.
Okay.
Onix feels like it should be like an 8-9.
I agree.
I
it's
have
iconic, but not necessarily overwhelming.
I've got Ditto and Ninetales. That's my next one's up.
I'm good with Ditto as an 8 seed. I'm gonna hold back on Ninetales. I'm gonna push Ninetales down with my power. You guys feel good about Ditto, Rudy?
Yeah, I didn't have Ditto on my list, but that's fine.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know. I like Ditto. An 8 or 9 seed feels right. It can transform to literally
Lickitung has not
everything.
been seeded yet. Meowth has not been seeded yet.
I've got
Farfetch'd.
Lickitung as a 12. Where do I have Farfetch'd?
I also like Slowbro, not yet seeded.
Farfetch'd is fine if we want to put it here.
How do you feel about it as an 8 seed, Rudy? Can I convince you if it's an 8 seed Farfetch'd?
Farfetch'd? Oh, yeah, absolutely. I have Farfetch'd.
How many more 8s do we have left?
7 seed.
We need one more 8.
Ninetales, Magnemite, Machamp.
I have Ninetales around.
I thought
in this
Magnemite was
area.
off completely. What did you?
I have Ninetales here. What was the other one? Machamp and what?
Magnemite.
Magnemite. You said Magnemite, Ninetales, and Machamp were those only 3?
We
Okay.
also have legendary birds left.
That's fine. They're low for a reason.
Yeah, I've got Moltres as an 8. I've also have Ninetales as an 8. I have Zapdos as a 9. Flareon as an 8. I've got Dratini as a 6.
Yeah, let's go Dratini as an 8 here. I don't know why.
It's cute.
I'm deciding
Dratini's cute.
All right, we've gotten halfway through our bracket. Will we get to the other half the other side of the break? Probably not. We'll try.
At JB Brisco, at Beards McFly, at Not That Rudy, at Sports Radio 810. Just do it already.
Do you love the outdoors? You know, hunting, fishing, and outdoor sports. Do you wish your current job gave you more outdoor time? Would you like something more fulfilling that provides better for you and your family? If so, I have something for you. This is Larry Ryan at 100% employee-owned Ryan Lawn & Tree. We don't offer seasonal jobs. We offer great careers, 12 months a year with full benefits plus ownership. That's why Ryan has such great people. And these great employee owners grow our company, creating new opportunities for you. Of course, a career at Ryan Lawn & Tree isn't for everyone. It's hard work outdoors that demands a hard worker. Someone who takes pride in his or her work. Someone who likes being challenged to be a little better each day. Someone who also likes the idea of being paid to stay in great shape and owning a piece of the company. If this sounds like you, apply online at ryanlawn.com. You have big goals. This is a big opportunity. Apply today at ryanlawn.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
I'm attorney Mike DePasquale. After a car wreck, the last thing you want to do is trust the insurance company. These insurance companies try to rip off good people every single day. My law firm won't let you get ripped off. We'll fight to get you all the money you deserve, and you don't pay us a dime unless we win your case. If you've been hurt, call me. I've got this.
Mike's got this. All you need to know, 816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
Hi, this is Tamara Day of HGTV's Bargain Mansions. Watching the tournament in style these days is from a sweet space at home. If your entertainment space needs some fine-tuning, enter the Madness Makeover Contest for your chance to get my design plan and hook up with what it takes to make your space great, worth over $9,500. Brought to you by Nutter Home Loans, myself, and my store, Growing Days Home.
No purchase necessary. Visit 810WHB.com/makeover for rules and your chance to score. James B. Nutter and Company, DBA Nutter Home Loans, NMLS 2067. What if you could get world-class wine at an affordable price delivered right to your door in the safety of your own home? Cameron Hughes Wine has a unique business model, sourcing top-rated wines directly from the best wineries around the world. Cameron Hughes Wine is your personal sommelier, insider, and wine buyer. Currently available in limited quantities. Lot 747 Russian River Valley Pinot Noir, a smooth, savory gold medal Pinot from one of the best producers in California wine country at $16 a bottle. It's less than half of what you'd normally pay for this wine under its original label at the tasting room. And they have great news because today Cameron is offering a deal exclusively for 810 listeners. 20% off and free shipping on 3 or more bottles. All you have to do is enter the code NATE at checkout. Save money and drink the best wine. Go to chwine.com today to get 20% off the already great prices and free shipping when you buy 3 or more bottles. Just enter the code NATE at checkout. That's chwine.com with the code NATE for 20% off 3 bottles or more plus free shipping. Great wine, great prices delivered right to your door in the safety of your own home.
Guys, have some free time? PRA Health Sciences is seeking healthy, non-smoking men ages 18 to 45 to participate in a study of an investigational medication. Volunteers must be available for 4 stays of 3 nights each and 1 follow-up visit. Qualified participants may receive compensation up to $6,000 for time and travel. Call PRA today at 913-210-5900 or visit us on the web at prastudies.com/Lenexa.
What does your smile say about you? Are you happy, confident, friendly? Getting and keeping that smile takes work. Proper brushing and flossing daily, and drinking fluoridated water. Fluoridated water has been in use for 75 years and is considered the most safe, equitable, and cost-effective way to prevent tooth decay. A healthy smile means a healthy person and a healthy community. For more information, visit health.mo.gov. A message from the Missouri Department of Health and Senior Services.
This is Almost Entirely Sports with Joshua Brisco.
Andy says,
on Sports Radio 810 WHB.
All right, here's what we did during the break. Here are your 9 seeds. Slowbro, Ninetales, Nidoking, Pidgeot. Your 10s are Moltres, Flareon, Meowth, Machamp. Your 11s are Clefairy, Growlithe, Abra.
And I think here's where we should go with Nidoran. Make all the 11 seeds kind of that your starter.
The female starter Nidoran. Yeah. I really hoped we would have the bubble figured out at the end of the episode here of this show. We're not going to.
I mean, we were going from 151 to 64.
Is Electabuzz, Magmar, Mr. Mime, Pinsir, Tauros? Magikarp's not yet been seeded. I'm okay with having Magikarp and Zubat be 16s.
That works.
That's fine. And Tauros.
They're like the automatic qualifiers from the lower.
So long as Taurus is here, I'm good.
Taurus can be a 16.
Okay.
It sucks.
Give me another 16.
Another 16? Wheezing.
Really?
Yeah.
Maybe Mr. Mime.
I like Mr. Mime better than
is a better
16.
16.
Show's over. The bracket will be up soon. Do our bracket challenge if you want. Just find the link on my Twitter account. We'll talk to you in several days. We'll be off for a while. Enjoy March Madness. Bye, Mom.
You are listening to Almost Entirely Sports with Joshua Brisco on Sports Radio 810 WHB.
Spring is coming, so plan now to keep those bugs out with Augustine Exterminators. Now is the time to establish and or maintain a barrier around your house. Don't let it break down. At Augustine Exterminators, they have you covered. Augustine is a family-owned local business since 1966. All of their techs are certified in both Missouri and Kansas. In fact, check out their amazing reviews from all their KC area customers. They're also a Quality Pro and Green Pro company. Augustine also does carpet, rug, air duct, and tile cleaning. They have an excellent referral program as well. Refer a new customer, and you and they get $25 off their next service. That's right. Refer a friend, and you both get $25 off your next service. Shop and buy local with Augustine Exterminators. Call Augustine Exterminators today at 913-359-8627 or go online at AugustineExterminators.com. And Augustine is looking for qualified technicians. Call today at 913-359-8627. 913-359-8627.
NCAA tournament coverage